Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try SkinPlace. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. SkinPlace.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction,
and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back here to the CCT. How we all doing? How we all feeling? Maruzacher here on the analyst desk, and alongside me are the wonderful Zola and CMD. Boys, we are about to take a look on down to the last two best of threes out here for the Ro16, for the round of 16 matches out here into the playoffs. What are we thinking for Monte versus Zero Tenacity, Zola?
Yeah, big game here. I think both of these teams, they've clearly kind of deserve a spot. I feel like for Monte, a very strong invited team. I think when you look at it on paper, I think Monte, maybe one of the sides we're looking at, are going to be getting, a little bit deeper into the playoff runs. But I think Zero Tenacity, definitely not an easy team to take down. So I'm excited to see how this series is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. I think Monte, they've got some really exciting pieces of their team. It feels like there's a really good balance in the roster, but it's something that Zero Tenacity have always had as well. I mean, a team that's been together for this long, it feels like any issues are long gone in terms of the actual names that are on this roster, and it's just going to sort of be, how can they perform here today? But I'm really loving this Monte team, but we have had a few teams, haven't we, actually, that have come into this as the invited team, sort of just not really shown up to a level we've expected.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's certainly some names that could still actually be on the cards for that discussion, coming in and being invited. But let's take a look on down first to the rosters, and then we'll talk about the other teams into the playoff bracket as well, because that's a lot to talk about too. First up into this best of three, we're going to have Monte, right? And they have had the change with Haji and with Sticko for around about a month already. It's already past a month, right? So they are slowly but surely getting in together as a team. They're getting more used to each other, and they've already managed to find some success, but also some losses, right? Ro2K's IGLing, Sticko, Demq, Haji, and Krasnal coming in together now to try to put the best up that Monte have got on the board. And they've beaten teams like 3D Max, like Aurora, right? It's the level of tier that Monte are still playing at, right? Because they are currently still breaching top 30 consistently, right? They haven't fell out of top 30 for, I believe, a couple of months already, right? So they are looking good. I'm not saying they're not looking good, but they've also gone down to Aurora. They've also gone down to Rush B, to Amcal, right? So they have their good and bad days, just like most teams right now. But when you take a look on down to Zero Tenacity side of the roster, they've had 4 best of 3s in a row here that they've managed to win, and it's against some up and coming rosters as well, right? Against 9, who just made their complete roster change, against Demons, who looked good in the CCT previously. Zola, we casted the eyeball game as well, and it was a little bit of a turning point out there for Zero Tenacity, because they absolutely demolished Down and Dust too, if you remember that, right? So
yeah. I think ZT have looked really dominant. You mentioned their 4 series in a row, and I feel like a lot of them have been 2-0s as well, and I think that's something that's quite scary for Zero Tenacity. We talk about them having incredible sample size on all their maps, and that's something that, the synergy of this roster are always going to be showing up. They're playing consistently throughout the months. They're always having game time, and I think when you do have that ability as individuals, plus the kind of the amount of reps on all these maps, Zero Tenacity are always going to be a scary team to face.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of the thing. It's sort of when you see a team like Monte versus a number of other CCT teams, actually, where they are full of young talent, young blood, you can sort of look at it and say, oh, well, Monte will always have that experience over them. It's kind of hard to say that. It feels like for Zero Tenacity, sure, maybe they haven't competed at the highest level like some of these guys, but they've got more than enough experience here, sort of at the brink of just before tier 1, sort of at that high tier 2 level. They've competed against a lot of teams. They beat a lot of very strong teams here as well, and I think this is another test for this team to see really how far they can get, because they're looking stellar in the last few months.
Yeah, they have been indeed. But taking a look on down, Zero Tenacity, Monte, we're going to have our talks about them, but before we do you guys want to head on over to the map veto, or do you want to head on over to the playoff bracket to talk a little bit more about it? I'd say let's kind of finish off.
I'm looking forward to the veto.
Yeah, let's take a look on down to the veto. Let's finish off the best of 3 discussion before we talk about other teams, as we do have it ready to go. Now, we expect the permabans to be coming through, right? Inferno to be gone, Ancient to be gone as well. Anubis should definitely be picked up, because it's Zero Tenacity's best map pick. But we go to Mirage first up from Monte, and then, of course, to Anubis. It's the 70th map officially being played on HOP the past 3 months for Z10,
Crazy.
and now we go Dust 2 as well for the decider. I like this veto. I think it's a good one. It's a balanced one. Mirage, though, is still a better map for Zero Tenacity. So overall, I would definitely say that actually this veto favors Zero Tenacity, but there's not really a lot of vetoes that don't favor Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, and I think when you actually look at it, I feel like it's kind of gone as well for Monte as possible, because their weakest map on paper is Ancient and it's Zero Tenacity's Instaban. So I guess when you look at it like that, at least for Monte, they've got maps like Mirage. Okay, maybe it's not their strongest win rate, but a decent amount of games played on it. It's clear they're prepared for Mirage. Anubis, you know, maybe not so many games, but a neutral win rate. And when you look at Dust, clearly favouring it. They've had 7 maps in the last couple months, which is more than most, and it's a positive win rate. I think when you look at it for Monte, it's not all too bad with that Ancient Instaban.
Yeah, I mean, when we do talk about, obviously, that, I do think it's probably a pretty good veto for both sides. I think this is kind of what we're expecting coming into it. I don't think we're expecting anything too crazy or anything out of the blue. Mirage, I kind of wanted to make the argument for Monte that, oh, well, obviously their win rate isn't excellent. It's not terrible, but obviously the core of this roster now, the whole roster has only been on this team now for about a month playing together with obviously the newest additions, but still the Mirage win rate is very inconsistent even with this 5. So it feels like we're still yet to see the full-fledged form of this team and what they can do in Mirage. Clearly, they're confident at it. They've had some solid wins. They've had some good stuff. Most of the time, though, their games are either close losses or reasonably dominant victories. So I suppose at least you can say they're always competitive in Mirage.
Yeah, on Mirage, yes, but I ask you this, guys, right? Do you think that the Mirage pick is better off than the Vertigo one? Because Vertigo was banned in the second round of bans, and, I mean, for Vertigo, it's only a 22% win rate out here for Zero Tenacity. They've struggled on the map before countless times, but they've still had those moments where teams try to punish pick them on Vertigo, and they just pull through immensely right when they were getting punish picked, right? So, do you think that Monte should have actually gone in for Vertigo as the first map instead of Mirage, or do you think that the safer choice is a better one here?
I think their pick's actually quite good. I think Mirage, you look at the teams that they've lost to, it's what, 13-10 lost to FaZe, Furia, Fours, they lost 13-11 to Liquid. Like, when you look at the opponents that they've gone the distance on a Mirage, you think, okay, well, it's kind of understandable. You know, when a vast majority of their losses are to these top tier teams, these teams that are kind of fighting for the #1 spot, and it kind of makes you question, okay, yes, the win rate overall isn't as good, but the opponent's far better. So I think Monte, they're clearly quite confident on it. I feel like Waro, not only as an individual, but it's just absolutely incredible on Mirage. I feel like it's a map he can dominate on, and I think that's something that they might be playing into as well, because I think when you look at the individuals, I feel like Monte, they've got great firepower, and I'd say probably slightly better than the side of ZT, because they have faced against strong opponents and kind of, you know, shown good results.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree. I would go with the Mirage as well. We haven't actually really seen this 5 play against too many top teams. I'd say probably the closest would be somewhere along the lines of Paravision, or maybe Amcal you can make the argument for. And they are, once again, very shaky results. They've had some pretty poor form recently. Sure, they can get some wins on it. It's probably about 50-50 in terms of this lineup now. But it doesn't fill me with too much confidence. I probably would still go for the Mirage. I'd definitely have a conversation about Vertigo if you think you can specifically punish your Tenacity, because then we're having a different conversation, aren't we? But I think the safest pick probably is sticking with that Mirage, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very, very fair. Now, coming down to it, I do want to mention the fact that Zero Tenacity are also coming into the playoffs with a 3-2 record, right? So they lost 2 best of 3s, but one of them was a forfeit, right, after 4 Aurora Youngblood. So I don't know if you can really count that or not, but again, they did lose against Permita. So getting into this point in time, Permita are also into the playoff bracket, along some other teams that honestly are going to be looking scary if Zero Tenacity do manage to actually get through, which is actually the team that they have to fight if somehow they manage to best Monte here, which is going to be Bleed, right?
Yeah. Tough. It's a very tough team to face. Obviously, the 2 series that we've seen earlier today, they've both been 2-0s, and I feel like they've both been the expected outcomes. But I think we're kind of talking about this game maybe not being as clear cut as the previous 2. So I'm interested to see.
Yeah. Very, very interested indeed. But the game should be starting up in just around a couple of minutes. Boys, we've been talking about who might take it, who might not. You guys can get into it and figure it.
Yeah, look, big first map for both sides. I think for Monte, they want to set the pace. They want to show some dominance. Yeah, for ZT, I think we can imagine ZT taking Mirage. It's not an impossibility. It's something that could happen. But big pistol round here, Monte on the T side, and it looks as though they're going to be heading towards B. But that is where the heaviest hitter of Zero Tenacity resides in Namana.
Yeah, rotations are reasonably slow though, and Monte gets a lot of information with that jump peak. Able to back away and just try to maneuver his way around this bomb site, gets taken out instantly as he's the one to find that. And now it's going to put Zero Tenacity into a really tough position. Smoke towards the window, a lot of bodies towards these doors. Nice fight from Ro16 here though, but the jewelries have been retrieved. And Kyofo goes down, AVN's next up to try to pass the test, and will do so successfully initially.
Yeah, no trade come through from Haji either. Stiko will eventually find Ro16, but Stiko again, from Apartments, doing a very good job in MQ to end things off. So look, Monte, they take the pistol. Very nice stuff from them.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry,
Stiko's a player I absolutely love to watch, Fred.
Yeah, definitely.
I think every team he's on, for me, he would be like the perfect teammate, the dream teammate to have. Someone who does a lot of the time take that hit, has a lot of clutch potential though, a lot more supportive. But yeah, I've always enjoyed Stiko all the way back on his time at Mouse. Ooh, double dink and Haji's still alive. Lucky. Pressure will be coming through from these USPs. Come on, low HPs. All the USPs are connected on one at least, so at least we will see Zero Tenacity walk away out of the round with something.
Yeah, you know, I don't think it's the end of the world for Monte though. They've got plenty of rifles in play, and now against the full buy, Zero Tenacity wielding the AWP already. Brute Monster, obviously with finding one in the pistol, will allow him to get out the glass cannon. And I'll be honest, I think this shows that Zero Tenacity are far more nervous than I think we imagined, because Brute Monster, quite a lot of the time, you'll see him opt for the rifle and utility when it comes to these first full buys, but no, he's gone straight for the glass cannon. I think Zero Tenacity are realizing their best chances, they've got to have the AWP in play early doors, they've got to get this round, it's got to be convincing, but with the aggression towards middle from Monte, Namana might get caught off guard as these players aggressing up under, and certainly is, as Warro chimes in nicely here on the weaponry investment. Brute Monster can find one, but great trade from Warro again. 4 on 3, make it a 4 on 2 as window aggression successful here for Monte.
Yeah, just like that, first 30 seconds into the round, Kyofo and Simka, both on the other sides of the map, have to stand so tall. There's any chance to take this one.
Yeah, Kyofo has taken some control here towards Palace, but the problem is we've got one in con, we've got one in window. There's no real rotation for Simka where contact won't be made. I think Kyofo's best chance is if he can somehow deny the bomb plant. That's all that's really needed, but Simka still struggling to find here.
He could end up taking down Warro here. This would actually be massive because he puts himself a lot closer to this bomb site. Will do so now. Palace Molly is good. The rotation has come in. Simka might not be expected. Player towards jungle will take him down. It's all on Kyofo. Makes his position known now. Really tough fight. And that will be the round. No chance he's going to be going for this anymore. But I don't know if they can allow him to get out either.
I like the idea here from Monte. Straight away, ensuring no weaponry saved. We've got a very, I don't want to say long flank, but crowds now towards T-Spawn will take down Kyofo, so no survivors here for Zero Tenacity, and very impressed with Monte's aggression here towards middle. Brute Monster does get one on the ore, so at least kind of having that opportunity, but the trade from Warro. 2 great entries towards middle. Obviously we see that pick found in window, and the second it's brought to that 4 on 2. I think we all know Monte are going to be winning that one.
Yeah, I mean, they're more than happy to slow down, take the break, and just sort of look for something. Wait for their players to get in the right positions. Don't rush anything. Don't give up anything. Oh, okay. Wow, this PG-50 is decimating Warro. 3 HP there. Still alive for now.
think Monte now realise that damage has been dealt. There's no real need for them to rush things, but we do have the Mac 10 pretty close to the action, and AVN's Deagle could hit heavy, but no, DamQ will fight. And now Simka going to attempt from window. Smoke going to be fading shortly. But Monte, they've looked very impressive here.
Yeah, they're looking really strong. I mean, the issue is, you can only look at win rate with a bit of a grain of salt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it always is one of those things that win rate only really matters when you take into situation the team they're playing against, the context in that they're playing it in. There's a lot of question marks. I mean, you can look at a team sort of saying, "Oh, they don't have great win rate," when they've been playing with a stand-in.
Yeah,
when they haven't made their full roster. There's a lot of question marks around it. Obviously, it's a great idea to give you in terms of what we're going to see from these teams. But Monte right now, despite having the worst win rate, they're looking sharp. They're looking strong. Early door still.
Opponents are always a major factor to kind of, speak about win rate. Because we talk about Zero Tenacity trying to encroach their way into that kind of tier 1, nearly breaching top 30, which obviously has been very impressive, but you have to imagine, Charlie, a vast majority of the teams that they have been facing off against have been kind of, between 30 and 50 HLTV, maybe even higher, whereas Monte, a lot of their opponents they've been fighting off against kind of top 10, so you can kind of see the difference, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah, you really can. Wow. Kyofo, brutalized. Woro takes down Brute Monster, and they're looking for even more. They won't get it just yet. Namana will grab one bag with an aid, could spell his demise, and it will alongside Woro's shot. Look at the speed that we're seeing in this. It's 1 minute 15 in the round, and every fight they realise, every player, they know their position of, let's take the fight, let's go, let's fight. So you mentioned early on, you felt like Zero Tenacity we're playing a bit scared. I feel like the right word for that is just showing Monte a lot of respect, realising that we need these premium weapons out to fight them. I feel like Monte doing the complete opposite. They're realising, okay, we have the stronger players, we have the better pieces arguably. Let's take every fight we can. Let's prove why we're in the position in the world rankings we are, and you're not.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for Monte, it's one of those games where, don't get me wrong, ZT, they're a strong opponent, but I think for Monte, it's just one of those moments where an upset can happen. And I think for them, they want to ensure that there is this victory, that, it's not kind of a question of, is it going to come down to dust? Will it come down to the kind of a big clutch in the map? I think Monte want to just make sure, look, we're going to smash these guys. We're going to show the reason that we have been able to qualify at the top level, and we're going to prove it among kind of all opponents here in the CCT.
Tactical pause is out for Zero Tenacity now. Trying to see if they can find the piece of the puzzle that is missing currently.
Well, look, we're expecting a 6 to come through from Monte. It's just going to be the half buy from ZT. Obviously, we have got the saved M4 of AVM, but not really expecting all too much from it. But, Charlie, we talk about the CT siding and Mirage being heavily favoured now. It's, one of the most CT-sided maps in the pool currently, and I think, obviously, in the past, I feel like Mirage was always kind of a 50-50 split. It was maybe slight favouring CT, but nothing major, yet now, it's kind of up there with the likes of Nuke, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, it's interesting how long that is going to stay the case for now, certainly is. Space being taken from Brute Monster. I mean, this is what we need. We need some risks, some liberties to be found, and AVN and Hachi. AVN goes down and Hachi finds Namana. But the biggest issue is right now, it feels like for ZT, is these half buys, these weaker investments. It feels like we're not really even seeing much of a contest. Simca will find one, but it's still a 4-on-2. Kyofo towards Connector. And that feels like it's been the biggest difference maker. Yeah, it's when we're in these buys that often can get very close. They're not really putting up too much damage that we're meant to.
Well, I think the main aim of these half buys is to restrict the finances of your opponents. Yet you can see it. Haji 9.5. Stiko above 10, Waro not too far behind, and you look at the money for Monte, Zero Tenacity, they're not really going to be in a moment where, look, okay, we win a 4-buy round, they're going to be on slight weaker weapons, we win that one, then it's the eco. Yet Monte, they're going to be having investments until the end, it seems, because in Zero Tenacity's kind of way, you know, they're not finding these picks on the half buys, not even on the 4-buys, really. A lot of these rounds, Monte have kept, you know, 3-4 players alive, and that's the scary thing for Zero Tenacity. And we talk about ZT's Anubis being, you know, such a strong point for them, and the fact they've got plenty of reps, but individual ability is always going to be a major factor on who wins the series, because whoever's hitting shots, whoever's kind of hitting the headshots, are going to be generally the team to take it. I feel like strategy only has, you know, not a minute factor, but even in all of these rounds, we've just seen the shots going their way in Monte, and I think when Anubis is clearly a map that Monte are happy to play, we need to see the individuals for ZT stepping up, otherwise their strongest map might not go their way.
And right now, that's going to be the question mark that we are going to be talking about sooner rather than later, potentially. But back on the weapons here, for Zero Tenacity, Brumont's obviously on that up again. Actually, just out towards mid. Not too much of a fight this time.
I think currently doesn't really need to. You know, the amount of rounds that Monte have shown so much presence and pressure towards middle, it's going to force Zero Tenacity to kind of keep their eyes on the prize. Yet that's where we're seeing aggression being taken elsewhere. We've got Waro now playing towards Palace, going to be potentially searching for a pick towards A, and that's where if we find a quick kill, the bomb's close by. Hadji can come up through connector. Avian will find, in fact.
Important kill. Oh, and Kyofo as well finds one through the smoke. Not necessarily a round that you're going to be able to repeat all too often, but a round that they certainly won't mind taking the early lead here. And you have information of 2 of these players here. Kyofo going down is going to make things a lot more difficult. Brewmonster is holding the lines, but the flashbang is too strong and allows Waro to get his way out of the palace and onto the balcony. Namana pushing through the smoke. Waro looks aware, but not quick enough.
Surely AVN to find. And look, now Zero Tenacity should be their first round on the board. And Charlie, we've spoken about how fast Monte have been opting for. This is the one round they decided to slow things down. And look, it goes the way of ZT.
I mean, you have to look at it. The round starts off with a bit of a 50-50 fight. AVN taken towards the window, looking on down, does just about come out on top. Those fights can really be a coin flip. And then we just see Kyofo flying one through the smoke. It's a round that it's not easy to replicate. And that's going to be the thing. But hopefully, at least for Zero Tenacity, we're going to actually get to see a bit more confidence being instilled into them. Ooh, and maybe this is the confidence that we're talking about. Well, I thought Namana was going to straight up push. There is looking for something. There's so much damage to Waro. Will eventually find him.
Yeah, and this is going to be the go call now for Monte with the aggression towards middle. Stiko going to have to be fast, but Brute Monster aware. Kyofo as well will find from triple. And now we're looking at 5-on-2. Oh, miss Molly as well. Would have forced Kyofo out, but I like that jump across from Ticket and the peek from triple.
Yeah, much better what we're seeing right now from Zero Tenacity, and all 5 players surviving is going to be massive for them. Still, I mean, look, you're going to see the last 2 rounds have gone the way of Zero Tenacity, and a lot of cash is still on the side of Monte. It does just show that, like I mentioned, we weren't really seeing too much of a contest in the early portions of this one.
I think as well, Charlie, Monte, they've already secured 6. I think they're going to be happy with that. I believe they do favour the CT side. Yeah, massively. Over 10% difference in win rate regarding their CT side. So, it's clear that they are favoured, but Brute Monster finding Waro, that's plenty. I think that's, what, 3 rounds in a row that Waro's been the first to go down, or pretty early on. Aggression from Kyofo's brilliant. Stiko found, and another 2-man advantage here for Zero Tenacity. This is looking far better for them.
Yeah, now Monte may be realizing, hey, why is this not working now? What's going wrong here? Slower played, hoping that we see some more re-aggression from Zero Tenacity, but there's no need to. They've got the early kills, now we've seen them go for a decent bit of re-aggression when they are behind, but they're not in this one.
Obviously, there's a fairly big gap here for Haji to work with. But with Namana rotating in towards CT, that's where things might become a little bit difficult.
"40 seconds on the clock."
Still a fair bit of util here for Monte. But we're going to have to see this kill go the way of Monte, but Brute Monster should find with ease, and that is the bomb. Now things become very difficult. Oh! Brute Monster again, and Kyofo will find incredible stint of success here from Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, from 6-0, where a lot of players weren't really having many kills. I mean, the first 6 rounds we saw Kyofo no kills. First kill he found was through the smoke, so yeah, it really does just show that everyone's starting to come a bit alive now.
Actually, in the last 3 rounds, you know, they've had 13 players survive, only 2 casualties. So the finance is now on the rise for the CTs, which is brilliant.
Just going to be an execute here from Monte. A last investment before an eco will be forced out of them.
Looks as though it's just going to be a fairly simple A play. Nade coming towards Ticket. Steeko on a Mac. We're looking to get aggressive here. Oh, the spam from Namana. The spray through the smoke is good. And Brute Monster eventually finds the opener here for Zero Tenacity. Bomb yet to go down, though, and that's where things become quite difficult. Oh, Brute Monster will get 1. Steeko peeks into 3. And now all on Krasnov. 1v3 gone 1v2. Can't isolate all too well onto Simka, though, and Zero Tenacity will find their 4th. And as you mentioned, Charlie, it looks as though it's just going to have to be an eco from Monte.
Yeah, bomb plant, I mean, could give them that conversation, but I don't know if we're going to see it. I think probably just a partial buy.
Strong half buy, yeah. We could see some Mac 10s, some Deagles, maybe a hero rifle on Haji.
See, that's normally the really challenging thing about trying to reset a T-side team when they're on so much money, because they're never really in that bad a spot. Because, I mean, look, we saw Monte lose 4 rounds in a row there, and in one of them they got the bomb down. If they were getting the bomb down in more of those rounds, they would have had enough money to buy this round. They would have just had a decent amount of money in general, because now they're on the full loss bonus. If they kept on getting these bomb plants, that's where you can keep on getting these buys out. And it feels like as a CT, you're never really resetting the T's when they're that far up, and that's really difficult to try to play against. But right now, Zero Tenacity are making it look like it's no challenge at all.
Yeah, very important comeback from them. I think Monte, the performance they showed initially was absolutely exquisite, but Zero Tenacity, they've had time to read into Monte's game plan now, to kind of evaluate the errors that they were making, and now, you know, it's an incredible success story for Zero Tenacity. The fact that they're 6 rounds down, they were struggling to even find kills, let alone rounds, and now, pretty convincing, it has to be said. Only 5 casualties in the last 4 rounds.
Out of ramp, but no kills being found, but Waro does grab one. Same time, on against one of his own Broom Monster. Looks like he wants to take this risk, wants to take this fight. It is very dangerous. Steeko's holding, and just a slight movement from Steeko's enough to throw off Broom Monster's aim, and he doubles up with the Galil. Finds 2, and finally Monte might have broken this streak of Zero Tenacity, but players have been chipped away at. Kyofo and Simka, they're gonna give it a go. The missed shot here, the lack of trade does eventually come through, and Haji and Demku will make it work. Monte, definitely not the same Monte we saw in the first 6 rounds, where everything seems so clean. But they will at least confirm that they're going to be winning this half.
Still, Zero Tenacity, they can fight for 5, and I think with the first 6 all going the way of Monte, I think Zero Tenacity will be at least happy with the comeback. But look, I think Monte, it's become quite clear why they picked Mirage, right, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be very curious about that CT side, Fred. You mentioned right now, sort of this year, in the last 3 months, Mirage weirdly has had an insane CT side leaning from a lot of these teams. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of maps can be a bit team dependent. Some teams just might not like a certain siding, but yeah, at least on paper, this map is something like a 53% CT side, which is pretty massive, which is pretty much there with the most dominant maps in the pool right now.
Yeah.
And more than a lot of ones that you consider CT-sided. But for now, we've got one more round left to play this half. Zero Tenacity, they would absolutely love to find 5. Know that they've really pushed Monte to the limits and gonna make them fight for this game if they want to win it.
Yeah, we got the double up in play finally for Zero Tenacity. With the strong finances, they are able to do so. Namana though. Oh, Namana caught off guard. Doesn't even get the tag.
Yeah, wide swing. Really awkward. Namana not expecting that from No Noise at all. And the double entry. It is obviously going to be the attempt. This is the final round of the half, but the round looks already done. Simka and Brute Monster. It's such a tough side to break in here. With these windows, smoke, the doors, mollies. It feels like, what opportunities am I being given? Well, there's one, but probably also the last.
Yeah, formals are fine and a flank from Haji.
Yeah, bombs half ticked anyway. Ooh, Brute Monster's giving it a slight glance, but it won't matter. Waro will find the final piece. And Monte do win the half 8-4. I mean, you come into this game and say Monte win the half 8-4 on the T side, you're going to say it's a pretty good half. Yeah, we do have to definitely say Zero Tenacity. Good comeback from them. They're going to need to start strong here on the second half, though, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's going to need to be a pistol round victory for them. I think without it, they're looking very much, far from success. I feel like when we look at a map like Dust as well, being that kind of decider, we talk about Dust being quite heavily influenced by just individual ability, and I think it's going to be a tough one here. I'm not too sure what I think about Dust. I think Dust is a bit of a, for both teams, we haven't really seen kind of that much because of its reintroduction when you compare Monte's Dust and Mirage, the difference in 19 maps played. But yeah, I'd be interested if we even get there, though, because I think Monte got a very strong chance of taking things here in Mirage, and it's not to say that their Anubis is weak either, so yeah, I'd be interested to see if we do get to Dust.
I mean, 8 maps from Monte to what is gonna be 70 for Zero Tenacity is, I think, the most ridiculous stat we can even mention. That is crazy, but yeah, I certainly think there's a lot more to say on Mirage here, though, so I wouldn't count out Zero Tenacity yet. Being impressed by their little streak of rounds themselves, and if they can't continue this, Monte certainly aren't invincible.
Shots have been made towards the B-bomb site.
I like that.
A bit of a
force out one of the only bits of veto, actually, unless you want to count a decoy.
It's a good fake flash.
It just forces that smoke out of Stiko is massive. Oh, Haji spotting towards under. Timing's not great.
Looks as though AVN is going to look to take some contact, but Namana, nice find on that P250 onto Waro.
Haji does seem aware. On Monte side does, but awareness only gives you so much on pistol rounds, and Namana just going to be backing up.
I would have actually loved to see Namana swing towards top mid, but DemQ finds 2, looking for a third hit. Is in fact man advantage, and we mentioned Namana's not really in this round currently, as he is making his way through Palace, and
Kyofu is so isolated on this site with the bomb. Namana has rotated on in now. Stiko's really aware of Simka's positioning. Will find him, takes him out of the round. On a P250 is starting to hit some heads again.
Yeah, tempting here. will find another, and even on the reload, he's safe, currently surviving. It's a 2-on-2, and it's a possible one at that, but Namana has been chipped away at. All that's needed is a body shot, but Namana will find one more, and Kyofo eliminates, so pistol round found by Zero Tenacity here.
See, that sort of brings me back to sort of 2016, Charlie, saying, why don't people just buy, like, actual pistols on T-side pistol? Because the CTs are only ever going to go for your head.
Yeah.
And that's literally what they did. No armor on the Mana. 4 kills with that PG-50. Weren't even some of the cleanest kills we've seen from him by any stretch of the imagination, and still managed to 5-4 as the bullets just weren't connecting with the body at all. But forced by his out. That really should have been a Monte round though.
Definitely. 100%, but things started off nicely for Monte, but the MP9s have been taken down, and Avian's double surely too secure. All on Stiko now. Big clutch required. Could deny the bomb plant. Nice
He
nade.
threw that out slightly further to the right. That's AVN taken out of this round.
Oh, all three swinging at once. Stiko unable to back away. So Zero Tenacity should start things off with a 3-round streak, as that was the force from Monte.
Yeah, now things can get a lot more interesting. We've seen the pistol that Monte definitely should have won. Go the way of ZT. And now, the force play doesn't work out. It's going to be an 8-7 unless something goes very wrong. And I think we can really have a conversation. Zero Tenacity can really start to give us a bit of a competition here on Mirage again.
Look, those ZT, I think they've made a, you know, they've turned a game that looked impossible to one that certainly can be done now. I think we saw that 6-round streak, and I think a lot of people would have thought, okay, maybe we're getting close to the finish of Mirage, but heading into round 15, expected to be found by ZT.
Yeah, should do at least, unless they do go into the stack. Noana's going to be that probe. Moro's going to give him up that information, but also gives him a bullet straight to the dome.
Weapon can be retrieved and can be wielded, as there is Kevlar on Krasnal. Ooh, just the smoke coming through. The bomb could have been denied, in fact.
Yeah, I imagine this AKs are going to be kept alive.
We'll give them a big weapon in the next. We're kind of expecting an auto to be in play as well, so will be a very strong buy from Monte. But yeah, I think it's definitely the right decision to keep the AK.
CT's all looking like they just want to go for some exits. It's good positioning right now, to be fair, where they are, because this is where all the T's are coming from. They can do a heaps worth of damage here. Krasnal does spot out a lot of bodies. Players towards Palace starting to make their mark now. And here's all the players starting to swing on out. Stiko, the second Palace play, take them all down. Excellent stuff. Weapons can't actually be retrieved, though. Because that would be massive. They could save all of those weapons into the next. That would be huge. Still, so much damage dealt.
I think the damage is more important than the weaponry saved. Look at the money now for Zero Tenacity.
I mean, you got to think it would do both, wouldn't it? Because obviously it'd weaken the money of Zero Tenacity, but also allow Monte to actually have a bit of a bank already building. Oh, Brute Monster slightly off with the timing. Drops the smoke. So I won't be able to see anything now.
Timing on these HEs not perfect from Monte. Nice from Hadji to find one. Oh, Hadji doubling down, in fact. Brute Monster Zort will eventually eliminate, though. Hadji realising, look, I'm trapped towards under. I've got to try and fight my way out.
I think you've been tagged down very low as well. AVM falling, so these low HP players aren't actually maybe going to come into play too much. I'm loving that they boosted War up here.
Well, he's so low, I think if he's playing a normal angle, probably going to go down for nothing yet. Stiko can try and take contact away. I think that will be the main goal. Gonna be dropping now, but Kyofo will find. Big trade from Woro, and the Orb of Brute Monster has been found. Orb can be saved as well.
Yeah, it couldn't really be any better for Woro. That finds the first, drops on down. Brute Monster just as he jumps with the Orb. That's when the swing comes through. Couldn't be a worse weapon. 9-7, and here we go. We spoke about the money. A force buy has been forced upon Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, a loss here will allow Monte 11. Ooh, nice nade here. 3 players residing towards ramp. Stiko will eliminate Kyofo. So he gets very aggressive towards apartments, and now Namana attempting from under, but the nade not doing that much, in fact. Oh, Haji facing a lot of pressure here from the A-bomb site, but Krasnal rotating in. Krasnal finding all 3. It just leaves Namana, the final remaining player, and they were aware of his position. He took some contact towards under, so they know no chance he's on the bomb site, and Woro aggressive on the AWP will find Monte. Will take 10 and expected 11th, and now their finances can be on the rise.
I mean, this could really be a photo finish here to Mirage. Because although we know that Monte are going to be the ones likely find an 11, it still feels like there's a lot more to be said here on map number 1 in this series, and this is what I absolutely love about this so far.
Yeah, I think the next round's going to be the most important. ZT required success. Kyofo going through the molly, not realizing there's an AK above holding, and Krasnal finds 3. Yeah, brilliant stuff. It's 21 and 11, Charlie. Make it 22.
Yeah, he sort of... I kind of want to say gone under the radar on this, but it hadn't really been too flashy. It's sort of while Woro's maybe been getting a kill or so, Krasnal's been putting one up, or someone else to get one, and it always feels like he's sort of left to the side a little bit. But yeah, what a game he's been having. 22 and 11, brilliant performance from the Polish lad. And here we go though, Fred, back on the weapons, Zero Tenacity. Rifles in play, AWP on Brute Monster. Util very lackluster.
Yeah, I think it's going to be heavily decided on whether they can kind of take this aggression with that minimal util and find the picks required. Brute Monster posted up towards window. Namana already crossed the chair. If he decided to peek out, I think
close there.
He could have found that kill quite easily. I don't think the player in short would have been ready for it at all. I believe it was Krasnal.
Yeah, I don't think there's any... The speed that he did actually have to get there was pretty massive, so he definitely could have caught someone out. This occasion, no. Zero Tenacity get the opening kill.
It is a big opener. Gives them that chance, gives them that gap to work with, and with a boosted Namana, he can do so much work here as he's already wrapping through market. It's just going to be this kind of simple B play now.
Oh, to the bomb though. MQ finds the bomb. That Brute Monster going down. Everyone is so far away from this. Kyofo, sorry, Simka actually going to be the player responsible for trying to retrieve this.
I think
MQ's very isolated as well.
Namana's just taken down Stiko, so they're going to be aware that there's deep positioning. Bomb's been stolen. Maybe Denku didn't realise that they could have seen that bomb. They have already
For 20 seconds, they know exactly where they are.
And the tease is so split.
Won't seem to matter. It's MQ in a tricky position there. I loved the actual angle that he was playing. If the bomb was slightly further out, then I think he could have definitely done a lot of work. Because normally people are going to be clearing towards left and right, but playing straight down the center, looking for that instant headshot. I think we could have had a conversation, but no, Zero Tenacity will win it. Good openings from them.
Great round from Namana. He gets 4 in that one.
Yeah, Namana, maybe not as consistent as we've been used to in this game, but had a number of massive rounds in this second half already.
Well, yeah, it's just the early kill, the space that he can take, the fact he takes down Stiko. Yeah, I think it's tough, though, because they know that the whole of the B bomb site is compromised because of that flank from Namana. Kyofo's deep as well. And it makes you kind of question why the final 2 CTs aren't just going with DemQ to defend the bomb. Because neither bomb site they've got control of.
No, that's the thing. I mean, you understand maybe he's sort of... Yeah, it's difficult. It's a difficult situation. Because they don't actually have control of anything. But because Zero Tenacity are so split around the map, you can see, Fred, in another world, how those kills can go the way of Monte, can't you? But yeah, instead definitely. It just doesn't. So it's one of those things where it can look really great, or it can absolutely fall apart. So you can see while Kyofo and Simcoe are going to retrieve the bomb, we've seen Aviator Brute Monster fall elsewhere.
Yeah, it's that kind of coin flip decision. It's just one of those moments where if the gunfights go the way of Monte, it's Monte's round. But Zero Tenacity, though, they needed the victory and they have got it. But Haji attempting to find the opener here will in fact lose his life to Simca. So many HE grenades sent towards Ticket.
Oh, will go down here, Namana. Unrivaled in that plant, but Stika allows the bomb to go down just to rip his head off anyway. Kyofo grabs the advantage back in Zero Tenacity's favour. Waro's got a good idea, but Simca might not be advancing any further. Round is going to go the way of the teeth. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Stiko is going to be retrieving that orb. Well, maybe not able to save it though.
Be the game plan. Stiko can find another.
Yeah, and likely we'll actually be able to get away with this orb now.
I think Zero Tenacity realise that they haven't got that much money, and if they want a successful comeback, they've got to keep their finances strong.
Yeah, but it did limit a little bit after that round. Not as limited as it's going to be for Monte. They are.
It's an interesting investment. Stiko's got an M4. It's like it's a half buy with a hero rifle, I guess. And they've got the AWP as well, so it's a possible round for Monte.
Yeah, it looked like they were actually going to go for the full buy. Oh, and there's that hero rifle gone. Obviously can be retrieved by one of the lesser weapons.
Brute Monster currently just holding. Could be a major risk. Ooh.
Yeah, Kraus now really wanted to push up for that rifle, but you can see Brute Monster was just aware that I'm just going to hold for a while and force them to think I'm going to be holding forever.
It's going to be a gamble from Monte, and it's going to be Zero Tenacity going into it. Perfect call here from Monte. DemQ's in a good position as well. Warren needs to be a little bit worried about ramp. He's currently just being held by Krasnout, just jump spotting. Just going to be right within the action. MB9's winging, all that is big. Palace control taken. Waro is still trapped in the action and will go down. It makes you question why he's not just playing from CT. Would have been far more valuable.
Yeah, now we've got that question again. Does Haji try to back away and save that M4 towards apartments?
Yeah, that is what it looks like. Similarly, DemQ just going to be saving as well. But yeah, I think if Waro's playing towards anywhere else, really, whether he's in jungle, whether he's towards stairs, I just think he's just out in the open. Best case scenario, finds one kill and then a trade comes through.
Yeah, it's one of those hero moments. One in every 50 times there, you can really be that difference player, but it is so tough to get so many players in that position.
Not easy, but with those 2 rifles being saved, the investment from Monte will be pretty strong. With Zero Tenacity now very close to leveling things up.
This is what I mean, Fred. It feels like despite us seeing Monte go 11-7 up, there's still so much more to be said in this game. And this is one thing. This is one of my favorite series we've cast in a while on paper. It feels like there is so much that could go wrong and right for both teams. It feels like they're actually pretty evenly matched, despite Zero Tenacity coming into this as let's be fair, probably the slight underdogs.
Yeah, slight though. I think it's not as though Zero Tenacity are kind of the David to Monte's Goliath.
No, but I feel like it leads to such an interesting affair between these both sides. But Waro going to be peeking. Spots on the first, only the wallbang though. Well, the molly will actually allow the kill to still come through. Oh, and just like that, look at this, Fred. Quick 2 kills coming through. In the final 2 ramp plays in the Mana and Brute Monster, the 2 stars of the team trying to survive. But Haji will eliminate, and Monte do find 12 out of nowhere, out of the depths. They make it work, and the double orb gets saved.
Yeah, and I think when you look at it, players like AVN, like Namana, there's going to be weaknesses. Galils, maybe even Mac 10s, but no, it does seem as though they're just going to go for the Galils, but this could be it. Could be looking at the final round here. Obviously, finance is not perfect for Monte either, so Zero Tenacity, if they find success, it'll be a very exciting round 24. Got a real love-hate relationship with the double op. Feel like it can work out so well, but once your opponents realise that's where aggression can come through.
Maybe wait for this last round then, but Waro finds 2. Haji, he's had a lot of multi-kills as well. Can he do it once again?
AVN 1v5 needed. And not to discredit him, I don't think he's the... If I wanted one player in a 1v5 on Zero Tenacity, it would be Namana, but AVN can't even find one. A flawless round for Monte to finish, and a Mirage success story for them. So, at least now for Monte, if Anubis doesn't go their way, they've got that backup plan, they've got that kind of dust too to focus upon. But Monte, they've got a real chance now, though, don't they, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, it is an important win for them. There was definitely the chances for Zero Tenacity to take their opponent's Mirage, their map pick, but it wasn't to be, but a very competitive game nonetheless, and now obviously moving over to Zero Tenacity's map pick, maybe still some twists in this tale.
Yeah, very interested to see what things are going to be, well, how it's going to go on Anubis. But obviously, Atro, he's been sat back watching Mirage, and he's been seeing how Monte were able to take things there. So why don't we have a little bit of a look and listen to Atro's analysis.
Thank you, boys. Great cast here for the first map. And I mean, taking a look on down, this was really interesting to see how Monte actually started it off trying to be aggressive. And, well, let's just actually break it down round by round, shall we? We win out the pistol round for Monte. They go out here into their T side on their own map pick, and things start looking good, right? Zero Tenacity just can't seem to find anything, as Monte find themselves on over to 6 rounds in a row. Now, that's a lot already, right? Because Zero Tenacity are onto their CT side on the first half. They need to put something up on the board. Krasnil also just starting off crazy, right? In round number 4, he was already 8-2 on the KD, and not only that, but he ended off the game on the best possible scenario with the highest kills in the lobby. So he has been going insane. The poll has been doing a great job of keeping Monte together out here, but this is going to be constituting the first comeback attempt out here from Zero Tenacity. They've had 3 in this whole map, and it began on the first half, right? 6 in a row for Monte, and then they put up 4 back. They're not able to fully close it out though, as they just can't find these frags. I mean, they can't find positions. They lose out a lot more duels than what anyone was expecting. And that's really the biggest problem coming out for Zero Tenacity at the beginning of this game, in the first comeback attempt, right? Because, again, after Monte finds 6 in a row, they slow down, Z10 capitalize, and they go in aggressive. They start playing their enemy's game. Then we go into the second half, right? 8-4, we get in, and the second comeback attempt starts after an 8-4 split, where the second pistol goes through for Z10, and they find rounds back to back again. We end off on a 9-7, and then it's Monte again to try to take it up. So it's been a momentum game, this whole back and forth spree, where we get to see Monte just having those early frags. Haji and Demq always kind of just denying a lot of these attempts being brought on down by Z10, and as they continue to just push through and aggress and aggress and aggress, Monte changed their playstyle time and time again. They stay on dynamic, and they manage to match that newfound all-around success that Zero Tenacity have had to take them down. Brute Monster also played really well though. He was one of the key factors to really find a lot of these comebacks through for Zero Tenacity. But again, the third comeback comes around after the pistol capitalization. Monte get up to win on round number 16, keep the skills again. We go from 8-7, 11-7, and again, at this point, Krasnal was already doubling up on the scoreline for everybody on the server. Third comeback comes around. Z10 managed to actually put up double digits to find 11-10, and here at the end, I mean, the resilience that Zero Tenacity have had was amazing. You cannot take that away from them. They were able to just keep coming back up even after they were being punched down every single time, but they were not getting kicked for nothing. They made this first map competitive, and yeah, again, it was an amazing first map, but it's not easy to deal with Monte as they find themselves on over to a 13-10 on their own map pick. Now though comes in the craziest of decisions out here that Monte have had to make. It was to not ban away Anubis. It was to go in for their permaban and not let through an Inferno slip. And now we go to the 70th rendition of Anubis here for Zero Tenacity in the past 3 months, which again is the craziest stat line that I think we have here into the CCT. And they're going to be going up against Monte's only 8 maps played. A 50% win rate. They've won 4 out of 8, and they've won up against some pretty decent teams like Bleed, like ECF, like Sangal, Rebels, right? But they did lose against Pain 16-14. They lost in a lot of 16s out here for Monte and a lot of overtime. So I don't know if we're gonna get to see overtime on Anubis, but I definitely do know that Zero Tenacity are completely ready for this map. They're ready to go, and they'll try to find themselves on a reverse comeback if, well, the bad things don't hit the fan out here for Zero Tenacity, and instead we get to a 2-0 out here for Monte. So stay tuned to find out what's going to happen after a quick low break.
Are you sick of just
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction, and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.
Okay, everybody, and we are here with the second map of the best of three. Took a look on down to the first one on Mirage, and Monte managed to find their own map pick, but not with too much ease, right? We do get to see great fights coming in, great resilience coming through from Zero Tenacity, and overall, now we're going to be moving into that fabled Anubis that Zero Tenacity are surely going to be looking forward to out here. Zola, what do you think is going to happen out here on the map? Because again, coming in from the first one, we've already kind of got to see what Monte have to offer. We saw Krasnal going insane. What do you think Zero Tenacity are going to bring to the table?
Yeah, I think Anubis is going to be a bit of an interesting one. I think when it comes to the amount of sheer games that we've seen from Zero Tenacity, it's clear that they're well versed on it. They've looked confident, but I feel like they've still not had kind of perfect results. And I think that's where it can just come down to who's performing. And I think the one thing that will go well for Zero Tenacity is usually in the games that they're not performing well, it's kind of partnered with Brute Monster not stepping up. But I feel like Brute Monster had big moments there on the AWP. I think he ended second fragging, maybe just behind Namana, but it wasn't as though he was completely in the dark. So at least for Zero Tenacity, they've got their AWP, you know, a real big factor for their success hitting true. And I think that's something that maybe is going to be the difference maker. But look, Anubis, who knows? I think Zero Tenacity probably favoured, but it could just come down to individuals, and that's where Monte, they have got some stellar individuals, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do actually think I got to watch one of Zero Tenacity's last losses on Anubis, but they're very, very few and far between. Out of their last 43 games, guys, they've won 37. That is a terrifying statistic to play up against. And I mean, they're not unbeatable. They're not, but it is. They lost to Permitter here in Series 5, but it was such a close game. And that's the thing, even when they do lose, they are going to bring you right to the absolute brink, and one mistake, they will capitalize, they will take it, and a lot of teams just very much struggle to play against their Anubis. I don't know what to expect, guys. I think Monte can certainly take it, but they're going to need to play no mistakes, absolute top-tier Counter-Strike, because Zero Tenacity, we know how well-versed they are at this map.
Yeah, I have to agree. They'll definitely have to play better than they did on Mirage to actually take this one away from Anubis from Zero Tenacity. And honestly, I mean, it's not one of those impossible scenarios to beat Zero Tenacity on, but it's definitely pretty improbable to try to break this streak from 37 map wins when you've played 43 in the past couple of days, in the past couple of months.
It feels like the past couple of days they played that.
Yeah, honestly, it really does, right? We're seeing time and time. I don't think there's been a best of 3 out here into the CCT as far as we've seen Zero Tenacity. If the Anubis wasn't permabanned away, we always get to see it, right? They're always going for it.
Yeah, I think as well, you know, we talked about their last 43. In the last, like, I want to say 10 days, they've played it 13 times. I think they've lost it 3 times, but all of them have been either 13-11 or overtime losses, which is pretty ridiculous. I think that's the only way you're going to beat them. I feel like Zero Tenacity, like, you're never going to be seeing them lose, like, 13-2 on it. It's just an impossibility because of not only how many times they play it, but also it's clearly a map that, you know, it just works well for them.
Yeah, but that's the thing as well. We saw from Monte early on Mirage, they had that 6-round streak. They looked really deadly. They looked scary to play against. It felt like we didn't really have many solutions coming out from Zero Tenacity, and all the individuals from Monte were having their moments, and that's probably actually what allowed Monte to win Mirage, just due to how strong their early portion of the map was. The scary thing is for them is they're kind of going to need to play like that throughout this whole game. They can't slow up like they did on Mirage, where they obviously let those 4 rounds slip, let Zero Tenacity get back into the game, and then we had a bit of a competition towards the end. Monte are going to need to really come out the gate swinging. Pistol round's going to be so important for them, really trying to take the fight to them, to their opponents, and see what they can do, because there's no easy solution to beat Zero Tenacity on Anubis, other than you've got to be hitting your shots better than they are.
Yeah, and there's also... Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go, actually.
You go, no, you. But yeah, I do want to mention the fact that you mentioned the individuals coming through right here, right? And we also have to take a look on down to Zero Tenacities, right? Because besides Brew Monster on the AWP a couple of those rounds, and Nemanja too, being that pillar of hope out here for Zero Tenacity, on this first map of Mirage, SimK and AVN really underperformed for our expectations, right? I mean, they went down 8 kills in... 20-something rounds, 7 only for AVN, right? I mean, those are impacts that you usually don't expect to be coming through for SimK and AVN, but they're usually those core players that do manage to find you off on great clutches, on great moments. So even if they don't have a lot of kills, I do want to see the impact coming through from them, and it really just wasn't there, right? In their comeback attempts, sure, Zero Tenacity did manage to find a couple of good rounds on everybody on the server, on SimK, Yofo, and AVN too, but it honestly has felt like we were watching a 3v5 going down here a lot of the time for Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, I think as well you spoke about kind of impact and rating. When it goes to the side of Zero Tenacity, not a single one of their ratings was better than the likes of Monte, and it wasn't as though it was a dominant loss. It was a 13-10, but it was just the fact that I feel like a lot of the rounds where they might have got kills, they might have had moments, Monte was still kind of quite heavily advantaged. They still took those rounds. But Charlie, you kind of mentioned the pistol round being a real importance. I think for Monte, and maybe this is a bit too kind of far favoured to ZT, but I think Monte, they've got to win both pistol rounds if they want any chance to take Anubis.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like maybe that's going to come into play, and I think we haven't really seen the absolute best from Monte on this map, but both pistol rounds certainly. I mean, we've seen teams win both pistol rounds and still lose the game a lot of the time, so I don't even think that's a guarantee. I think the most worrying thing is for this main 5 now as a roster, we haven't actually seen them play much in that recently. I think they've only played 1 map of it this month, and then the last few that we've seen from them with this roster were at the very start of this roster's sort of iteration as this full 5 now. So we haven't seen a huge heap of Anubis, and I think maybe just due to that, I think Zero Tenacity, they've got all the advantages here. This is really their game to lose, because everything feels like it's bringing us, or leaning towards us going onto Dust 2.
Here's what I'll say though, if they play their CT side well, Monte, and they manage to put up at least 5 on the board, I'm not even going to say that I wanted to get to see a good early game from them. I just want to see a strong finish, right? Because that's usually how it works up against Zero Tenacity. It doesn't really matter how far down they are. It's always one of those teams that can manage to find those crazy comebacks, that can just continuously try to stay resilient and to try to get back into the game. So if Monte don't really focus all of their strats and all of their firepower down towards the beginning of the game, and they have a strong finisher down towards that T side, then I'd say, okay, go for it, try to work it out. But let's move straight into the map. Let's go to the desert. Boys, take it away, and let's see if Zero Tenacity are going to be actually taking away their own map pick here on their 70th iteration, or if Monte are going to find themselves on a 2-0.
Yeah, look, pistol round in play now. Monte looking to start on the T side. It's expected, T side being the favoured one here on Anubis. But something to touch upon, Charlie. You mentioned that we haven't really seen all that much from Anubis from Monte as of recent. And when you look at the 4 games that they've won, 2 of them in OT, 1 of them 13-11. Obviously, the only dominant victory was a 13-5 against ECF. But when you look at it on the side of Monte, it's kind of not even dominant victories. It's clear that Anubis is maybe a map that's always their secondary ban, because we really haven't seen it much from them.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think if we see Monte winning this one, it's certainly not going to be a clean one. It probably will be like an overtime victory or a very close fought game. But pistol round, we mentioned, feels like this could be a really good chance for Monte to try to find something, but a lot of aggression here towards A main. 3 players for the CTs. Nemanja tasked with solo holding mid, and so far, he's keeping Monte at bay.
Yeah, it seems as though Zero Tenacity, they need to try and take this aggression. They need to try and kind of push themselves into A main because they've got 3 players very close, but no flanks. Eventually, they are going to be progressing now. Going to come through from Kraz now, but Simka going to be coming through and actually falling, in fact. He had the jewelries in hand, dealt some damage, but kills not found. And now, Monte, they're going to be backing away and heading towards B. That is where Brute Monster resides. Plenty of work needed to be done here from the Zero Tenacity AWP.
Really slow paced around here right now from Monte. They are so careful, so cautious about where they're pushing, what space they're giving up. And Kraz now is taking a 5. Brute Monster does find 1 towards the main. Looks for the second, will take them down. AVN getting dropped on down to. But Brute Monster's doing his best work here around the back of the bomb site. He's found 2 already. The flashbang's really good, but it is a T-flash, actually. Brute Monster again on for the 4K.
Gotta clutch it out, but it's gonna all come down to time. But Brute Monster will win it. Yeah, that flashbang was awful. It was the T side. It flash blinded both the players close towards Pillar. But yeah, I think Brute Monster, once they realized that he's kind of on the bomb site alone, we needed to see a bit of a swarm from Monte, but they were far too slow. I think we kind of praised Monte initially with their kind of patience, but once that initial contact's been made, we need to be seeing them hit the bomb site. But Brute Monster, he was just able to isolate those kills far too easily. But now we're going to be seeing force coming through from Monte. We have got the AK in play on DemQ. Believe dropped over by Kraz now.
Yeah, I mean, that is the issue, and Brute Monster should never be allowed to fire 4 there. Just dance around the bomb site, allowed to isolate these 1v1 fights. Non-stop, really.
Yeah, very important start as well. I think Zero Tenacity, we mentioned the importance of them obviously taking Anubis. Ooh, Kraz now. Looked as though he wanted to flash his teammates in, but the AK now been retrieved from Kyofo. The bomb under the control of the CTs, and we have seen a rotation coming through here. Namana finding Stiko. Only 2 players remain, but Namana at range. Make things work. The molly is a little too deep, so we can't see the peak from Kraz now, but he's been spotted and has been found. 5 survivors for ZT. Money going to be on the rise, and an expected eco from Monte.
And this is going to be the scary thing about Zero Tenacity's Anubis is, sure, it's the T-sided map, but I'm so curious to see what they're going to actually be able to do on this T side of it. Of this CT, sorry. Because, I mean, they've got brilliant T round win percentage, but their CT is actually very strong as well. If they can sort of finish this half red with a dominant looking CT side, I think the game's already done.
Their win percentage is better than Monte's T side. It's, you know, this is going to be the most important half. I think it has to be said.
He's a bit of nade damage. The Molotov as well. They are going to be pushing through it. Namana can make a heap of cash with the MP9, but in awkward positioning, only able to find 1. Krasnow's P250 does connect. AVN stabilizes though. Really great showing there from AVN. Finds 3. Simka rotates on in. Clean things up just before his teammate dies.
Yeah, the finances as well for ZT looking pretty strong. Not opted for the AWP though. Oh, in fact, Brute Monster essentially questioning, and in fact, yeah, will have the AWP in play now. They have in fact upgraded from that MP9. Zero Tenacity don't want to take any risks whatsoever. It's understandable. Like the MP9 though, there's some real big positions that it can be wielded. Maybe if you go for a kind of a double main play with the AWP and an MP9, double E-box as well.
Yeah, a lot of pressure right now going to be put towards A from Monte, but Brute Monster towards Electric finds the first. The only player who wasn't towards Rugs.
Yeah, now we can see a rotation through from Namana. We'll also see Brute Monster making his way back towards middle to defend if any players are wanting to crunch in from camera, but no. Currently all towards main.
See, now the scary thing for Monte is they don't know how much control has been taken elsewhere alongside the map. So they're kind of questioning, if we don't go here, I mean, they could be flanking B main right now. They could be looking to push through mid. There's a lot of area that they can go. Nothing out now. Forces the CTs to go on and rotate. Back and forth trade initially. Missed off shot from Brute Monster, but Namana will continue the form of these trades. Still advantage. Yeah, the advantage is in favor of Zero Tenacity, though. Namana isn't the healthiest.
Ooh, Avian found. Simka taken down, and now it's on the low HP Namana. I think Zero Tenacity, they had a great read, they had a great idea. The setup was pretty good initially, but now Namana attempting, will retrieve the orb and might just look to save it. Yeah, he's going to have to. So Monte, although they're kind of cornered in to hit towards A, the utility was good enough. And I like as well what we see from Monte. We see the initial smokes, flashes, and mollies come through, but no one peeks out from main because we see a spam from both the Heaven player and Namana on, and Kyofa on the back of the bomb site. So Monte, they don't want to go into the bullets, which is understandable. So what they do is they just kind of sit in main, wait, and then they kind of re-aggress, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, that was so key. We saw Zero Tenacity with that advantage, but as soon as the bomb's down, that's where there's a time limit for Zero Tenacity to actually go, and they opt to go sooner rather than later, and yeah, just the double kill, very key. And Namana, being that low HP player, but he was towards Heaven though, there was a smoke down, we couldn't really find anything. Sort of just had to wait.
There was some utility, I believe, on Simka as well. We could have seen kind of a flash over Heaven, Namana jump through, and then we see the swing from Simka and AVN. But yeah, Namana's low HP. We're not really expecting him to do much more. I think in that moment, he's got to be kind of setting his team up for that success. But with Stiko finding AVN so quickly, I believe Demq swinging on to find Simka, I think it just made things, you know, really tough. But ZT, they should have won that one, it has to be said.
Yeah, it did feel like it was in their favour. It is just one round that they let slip. Question will be, can Monte actually double down from it?
Yeah, can they capitalise? Not much utility remaining here for the CTs. Some util going to be sent now towards Pillar. Made of the smoke, and Krasnov going to be pushing through now. They've got a player very close towards main. It is AVN, he's aggressing. Jumping into the nade, and Stika will find Simka though, eliminating Kraz now. A lot of rotations have already come through towards this B-bomb site. "30 seconds remaining, and Monte finally now going to be looking to make their way towards B.
Two defenders here, Namana. And of course Simka by his side.
Slow rotations though. We know that Kyofo and Brute Monster are going to take quite some time, with Namina finding Demq. Kind of forces this aggression to be very one-dimensional, all coming from B main. Warren now creeping out, missed shot on the orb, Namana finds. And Zero Tenacity, they silent Monte.
Yeah, a brilliant round from Namana and Simka. 5 kills between the two players. And that's the scary thing though, isn't it, Fred? It is Zero Tenacity's Anubis isn't just good on their T side, they've got a good CT side, yeah. And even when it's a 4-on-2 on the bomb site, even when the players are slightly split apart, they can still make it work, they still find the kills, their knowledge of these timings is so on point.
It's brilliant from Namana as well to take that aggressive fight onto Demq towards Connector, because that's what kind of, you know, eliminates this two-pronged attack. Oh, Namana finding Krasnow's very nice, but yeah, I think, you know, it was clear that Monte wanted to kind of push through heavily towards B main, but just having the player in Electric as that secondary aggressor, yeah, Namana takes the fight before the players are even out.
Yeah, I mean, and then obviously the pressure he creates for Simka to find a couple himself is very monumental, but this is going to be a difficult round as it is. He's going to play it through the smoke as well, is only going to make things harder.
It's a hero AK invested here. The ZT. It's another round that should go their way. They've got the numbers, they've got the weaponry, utility favored as well. Naman are now going to be tested once again as the T's look to make their way towards middle. Oh, nice firing from Waro. Be a bit of a tough task to retrieve that weapon, so they are going to be falling back, but it's another round that Monte are going to be heading into a bomb site with very minimal time remaining. Luckily for Monte, there's no defensive utility remaining on AVN, no smoke, no Molotov, so they can look to push
is rotating on them though. He's got a Molotov. He's going to be late with it.
Trade needs to come through. Eventually, Waro strikes, and now Simka can look to deny, but Waro again found 3 kills so far. The bomb can go down now. Monster getting very aggressive, quite unnecessarily, but Kyofo will find now. Demq on the AWP, posted up, flash to come through. Second one as well. Demq not blinded, and nice shot there, just a sliver of the body spotted. And Monte finds success there with that hero AK, and it has to be said, Charlie, what a hero that AK was. 3 kills found there. Very impressive stuff here from Waro.
Yeah, it was brilliant, but Demq as well. I mean, the kill with the Deagle allowed him himself to pick up the AWP and win that clutch was massive as well. If he goes down, there's no chance Waro wins that. Even in a 1v1, it's going to be so difficult with his health.
Now look at the finances for Zero Tenacity. That round is quite an unsettling one for them, as it should allow Monte to regain a bit of success, but as he finds one before falling, AVN, it's an important trade on that MP9. Can look to upgrade to the AK, and he has been able to do so. We'll send out another smoke here towards middle. If Waro had a rifle, you'd know he'd love to push through, but I think it's just far too risky when the AWP is wielded.
Yeah, just a scout and brute monster with these limited weapons is going to be very tough for ZT.
Bit of a gamble though. I think we've got the boost coming through. This boost is incredible. AVN. I think it's the Smooya boost, I'm pretty sure. Maybe he hasn't got it patented, but was one of the first players to show it. Brute Monster's close towards camera. This is going to be a perfect round here for Zero Tenacity. Look at it! Great spray from AVN, but they have no clue where he is.
That is excellent. Brilliant, brilliant spray from AVN. 3 kills so quickly. Waro.
Oh, the nade.
7 HP, made that 2.
That would have been the ace with the HE.
I mean, what way to find it that would have been, but I think they are going to respect this and let Waro save. But they will certainly be taking their 5th round.
Yeah, and it's kind of a good round for ZT, just on the basis that they were facing off against weak weapons and that hero AK, and it has to be said, somewhat fumbled. Yet here, when they're the ones wielding weakness, made it work. We saw AVM with that MP9 get the opener. Or get the trade, in fact, upgrades to the AK, but that triple was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, incredible. I want to see this again. It was that good.
I'm
I'm
looking at that.
He finds Waro there if Waro doesn't take down Kyofo.
But I'm looking at it and I'm just like, oh, I wish I had a spray that good. It's not even close range and he's still hitting those headshots.
Yeah, brilliant. We're here towards mid though with this saved up. Does give off where he's playing from.
Yeah, Namana kind of playing with fire there, but still alive currently.
Oh, dropping down, desperately trying to find some impact.
Like this aggression towards main though from Zero Tenacity. Trying to suffocate the T's, make things very difficult.
We've got Waro heading over towards here now. And just as he does, that's when we're seeing the CTs back away.
Middle has been left open.
Yeah, it's going for a bit of a jiggle. Like he didn't repeat, because that's where Waro is holding now.
Kraslow's been spotted, and I think now Zero Tenacity need to realise it could be this B play. And that's why Kyofo's taking a deeper angle, taking a deeper position. Can be that faster rotation, but still, AVN will be able to get here in time. We do have the one smoke on Stiko. Flash coming through. Will delay in 19 seconds now on the clock. Broom Monster, lovely one tap there. We'll find his second with the AK. Waro's all struggling to have that impact. Nice double, but surely just a save from Waro once again. There is a flank coming through. Only one bullet remaining. Needs to find Kyofo, but the missed shot. And ZT will take down Waro after time. So look at the finances, not looking great. And now ZT, they find 6, potentially 7, as the money's not great either. But incredible CT side so far from Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, it has been a very good one. Buy is out for Monte. Sure, there's a few limitations here or there, mainly in the utility department. But, I mean, I feel like it's why they've got to give it a bit of a go. Money isn't, like you said, great on the side of Zero Tenacity. This could be the chance for Monte to get back in the game, and it's going to be this fast push. But Haji is isolated from the team, still goes 1-for-1 at least.
Yeah, I like the idea there, but they're not going to be ready for the AWP Brute Monster, surely. But missed shot. Aggression going to be coming through, though, from Namana. This is something that Monte need to be prepared for, but Namana, how much can he do? Well, nothing, as MQ will eliminate. Man advantage here now for the T's. I like the idea there from the flash through the smoke, so we will see some control taken now by Simka and Kyofo. Repositioning here with the worry that camera could be a point of contention.
They're just gonna... Oh, timing could be really, really good here for Kraz now. He's got a great idea. Just has to make sure he doesn't look away at the worst possible time, and we will see Simka win the fight, actually. But that is information gain. Monte looking elsewhere. Not really any damage dealt. I don't know if Kraz now got timing or what, but it looked like he was fully ready for it.
I don't know if Simka's just spotted them, but it definitely seems that way.
Really good reposition as well. Stiko has a bit of a half clear of it. Kyofo finds Waro elsewhere. Simka gets all this information on MQ, and we'll find out what a round from him. 4 kills.
Yeah, it's just kind of round after round where we're seeing 4Ks coming through from different Zero Tenacity players. We saw it from AVN, we've seen it from Namana, Simka as well now. And Brew wants to go 4 on the pistol, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Brew wants to go 4 on the pistol.
Yeah. And it's not as though it's kind of 1v4s or, you know, tough rounds. There's plenty of Zero Tenacity players alive in these moments.
Yeah, just having good individual moments, but 7 already on the CT side. Feels like it spells disaster. We said we need Monte to play perfect, yes. Or at least it feels like they need to beat Zero Tenacity, and far from it so far.
And I think as well now, I think Zero Tenacity, we mentioned their T-side's far stronger. I think Monte, not only will they need to win these final 3 rounds, but also the pistol. And that's just to level things up 7-7. But Zero Tenacity very much primed for success here. And it makes us question, you know, Dust too. Which way it'll go.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Dust is one of those maps that's so hard to predict right now what team's going to be able to take it. But, I mean, this game is technically still not over. There's still a lot to be said. I think at the end of the half, we'll really get to see how things are looking.
But I think 8 rounds on the CT side for a team that's more favouring the T side is always a scary thing. And, you know, it's not great weaponry. We've got 2 Deagles, 2 Techs, and a Galil. Against the perfect investment here from Zero Tenacity.
Bit of chip damage onto Haji with that nade. It is just going to be this weaker investment. Again, DemQ fully invested into this Galil.
We saw the hero rifle work well for Monte before with Waro wielding. Monster posted up here with the AWP, and this is something that I don't think Monte are going to be very prepared for at all. Smoke fades and Brute Monster finds.
He wants more. Will get it. Wants to go for the third. Flashbang's good, but Krasnow sprays better. Kyofo on the back of the bomb site finds one. Doubles up, and the round is going to be done here with Waro being all that remains.
Yeah, Waro 1v4, no bomb. Just the Deagle. Picks up the Galil, but while switching to it, he gets found. AWP saved. Great round from Kyofo there. Similarly, Brute Monster's 2 openers were very nice. With Zero Tenacity now, they will find a... We need to see more from Monte here.
Yeah, just something to give us a bit more belief that this is going to happen.
And I think the difference is, Zero Tenacity, they got 10 rounds on Mirage. Don't get me wrong, it kind of... I feel like it was always going to be a tough first map for Zero Tenacity. It felt like they were always playing catch-up on Mirage, but at least they got enough rounds to go, okay, you know, it's our opponent's map pick. We're looking okay. At least we're going to be having some confidence coming to ours. Yeah, for Monte, so far only securing 2. And when you head to a map like Dust, where there are so many unknowns, where it's kind of a map in which both teams are a little bit uncomfortable on, that's where confidence could play a key part.
I mean, that's the thing as well, though, isn't it? Is we had 11-10 scoreline on Mirage at one point,
and it would have been a 12-11. Money was in the drain for Monte in that kind of in that 22nd round.
Yeah, it could have really been anyone's game at that point, if we're being honest. But right now, one-sided is a bit of an understatement. Still a couple of rounds left here. Brute Monster very aggressive. Finds one's able to back away. He's still looking for more, and Brute Monster's so confident, so aggressive, and always wants to take these fights. Aggression again. Brute Monster finds 3, and the smoke in the faces of the T is just really the salt in the wounds. But DemQ does find a double to at least make this one somewhat possible for Stiko now. 1 versus 3.
Yeah, I like the idea from DemQ. I think they're finally realizing, look, we cannot just stay towards main. Brute Monster's going to keep peeking, and he's going to keep taking us down, so we've got to kind of get on the front foot, but far too late. The fact he's able to find 3 before falling is ridiculous. And now Stiko, 1 versus 3. And the swing from Simka is enough, so Zero Tenacity will secure 9, potentially even 10, as the finances not looking great for Monte.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving what we're seeing from Brute Monster right now. This is the scariest thing against when you're playing with someone like Brute Monster, who is a lot of the time, it feels like a bit more of a confidence-based AWPer, someone who, if he is having a bit of a tough sort of first 10 rounds, he's gonna have a tough time getting back into the game. But once he has a good early portion, once he's a good round with the AWP, it's really gonna spiral from there. We saw the aggression towards A, constantly wanted a re-peek. Same thing now between the other side of the map. Non-stop wanted to take those fights. 3 kills is something that should never happen. And again, look at it. Look at him, Fred. Everywhere on the map, so aggressive. Wants to take these fights. Finds 2, but it doesn't matter. Namana gets 1 of his own, and his advantage again. Zero Tenacity. Waro is here on the AWP. The Molly is going to deny some of the advancements, but Waro does find 1. Has been tagged down low.
Yeah, I think when you look at it as well, Brute Monster finds 2, Namana finds 1, yet Kyofo, he gets nothing. Kyofo was kind of primed to at least find 1 there, and that's what would have left this round in a real tough spot. It would have been kind of a 1v4, yet with Waro getting that kill onto Kyofo and finding 1 with the AWP, it's a 2 versus 2. It's a possible round, but Simka not moving a muscle, realizing can't really progress any further with the realization that Waro is currently holding. Yuto coming over, but Simka could be found at any moment. Simka just needs to hold his ground, and so far will be doing it. All going to be about timing. This round is dictated by timing, but AVN finds, and the AWP scope of Waro has been heard, and this nade can take him down. Waro, though, will evade it. AWP posted, but AVN creeps past, and Waro now going to be found, and that's double digits from Zero Tenacity on the unfavored side for them.
Yeah, only 2 rounds managed to be found from Monte on their T. This really does speak volumes, but Broom Monster, I'm loving the close range sort of combat AWP style that we've seen so many times this game, so many different positions. It was 3 rounds in a row, Fred. We saw on, okay, I'll go on the other side of the map now, I'll get aggressive here. Okay, now I'll go on the other side and do the same thing. Really brilliant. Love to watch. It's really brilliant CS to get to actually watch and enjoy.
It's a great read as well, because Brew Monster, he knows that it's going to be a weaker buy, util's going to be a little bit tough, and when there's lacking in util, when you've only got a couple smokes, a couple mollies, a couple flashes, that screams an A hit, because it's a smoke towards heaven, smoke towards camera, molly towards bricks, and then obviously kind of aggression coming through main, but Brew Monster's already posted up, he's so prepared. Bit of a 1-for-1 in mid currently, is Zero Tenacity going to be hoping to take the pistol here, but Haji with a lot of work to do. Demq, in fact, in the back lines, finds the mana. Krasnal takes down Kyofo. And with Simka falling, it's all on AVN. 1v3, low HP, but he will be able to find the first. Unable to secure the second. So, pistol round at least going the way of Monte, giving them a chance at things here.
Yeah, it gives them, like you said, a bit of a fighting chance. Zero Tenacity, I feel like it is just going to be the eco from them. I wouldn't have minded seeing the force buy, but it feels like the eco is so much safer. You've got such a hefty lead. Just a few more rounds required.
Yeah, definitely. I think why waste a round? Why give it away? I think the second the weaponry is in play for Zero Tenacity, they should be finding success. You can see how worried Monte are. Premium weapons all across the board. Utility, only 3 pieces. Oh, bit of a missed run boost. The rifles at range will find. No casualties here for Monte.
Yeah, everyone will survive. Everyone will just about keep themselves in this round and keep the finances growing slightly. But this is it. 8K's out, utils in hand.
Big moment for Monte though. This is going to be kind of a sign of whether they can come back on Anubis. Obviously there isn't an AWP in play for Monte. 2 FAMASs as well, but we spoke about a couple of the players on Zero Tenacity not really stepping up on map number 1. But Simka and AVN, they've looked good so far, yet on the side of Monte, Stiko and Haji certainly had a bit of a tough time of things, but Namana now, in the hopes of getting aggressive, could find one. The flash from Kyofo's good. Whether Namana's prepared for the second, though, is the question, and certainly not, as Stiko will eliminate. Simka low HP, Krasnal finds, and now it's AVN and Kyofo to try and find things here, but Stiko seems hungry for these. Oh, Stiko! Somehow not the victor of that engagement.
Krasnal quite low. This is where we can have a bit of an interesting conversation. Demq's pushing towards main. Kyofo, if he finds this kill. Oh, timing's really brilliant for Demq though. Peeks on out and just peeks out at a jiggle.
Yeah, nice work from Demq here. Obviously finding 3 in total. Can pick up an AK as well to upgrade. Should see the AWP in play for Monte as well. But it's an important first weaponry investment from Monte. Maybe, Charlie, there's more to be seen on Anubis. I thought we would be sweeping the map under the rug and potentially a map Monte want to forget about, but still. Maybe we've got something a little bit more competitive on our hands.
Yeah, certainly is getting a lot closer. But still, it's such a hard journey for Monte to actually bring this one fully back.
Ooh, nice find from Stiko. Nice nade onto Kyofo. Timing on the nade. Dunked straight down onto Brute Monster. Boost attempt, but Demq spotted and will find 2. Oh, Warro. Maybe not that much aggression's needed, but at least with Warro falling, he can get out and open this one. Maybe it was all on purpose. They will have an AWP in play, dropped over by DMQ. But now, Charlie, we are going to be seeing potentially some more combat AWPing from Brute Monster, because while wielding the big green, he had a very exciting kind of final 3 rounds.
We could see if he opts to do the same thing on this D side, but not going to be easy. Very aggressive here from Namana. A lot of space taken. Love the molly that's thrown. Allows him to fully look behind it and forces the CTs back. Just the presence and the speed of this player. Stika realizes, I don't really want anything to do with this.
Rightly so. Stika, though, going to be pushing out, and Namana will find DMQ close to the smoke, but no real need to risk it. Krasnov could go down here. Oh, with a double peek from the CTs on the B bomb site. Take down both Kyofo and Simka. So it's a 3-on-3, but the HP for Krasnov and Haji not perfect. So a lot of work here for DMQ. And Namana pushed through this smoke, but DMQ, he was sitting inside of it.
Oh, the scope's not going to allow Krasnov to be spotted, but Avian will be able to find. See, that's really difficult, the amount of noise and sort of aggression that's seen from Zero Tenacity in this one, because this was and is a really winnable round with Haji and Krasnov both being sort of 1 bullet from death. You only had DMQ to find there, but we saw Namana's aggression. We saw the noise being made towards Canals. It feels like maybe we just see them play a bit safe and slower. They probably can just win that.
Yeah, definitely. But I think when you look at it now, Charlie, I think Zero Tenacity, they've realised, okay, maybe this game isn't as one-sided as we thought, because tactical pause coming through. With it just being the half buy from ZT, we can expect Monte to find 8 here, and I'll be honest, if you're a Zero Tenacity player, this is where the alarm bell's beginning to ring.
Yeah, still, it's close, but it's not ridiculously just yet. 3 rounds, sure, but you're still on the favoured side.
I like the amount of Mac 10s here for Zero Tenacity. We've got one on AVM, one on Kyofo. Hero AK as well for Simka. It's the type of buy that can win around. I feel like when you've got only just a couple Deagles, it's not always the greatest of chances, but the Mac 10s can work their magic.
You know what we need? Good bit of util, good push, and already look how fast out AVN is. Namana's the first to actually find the kill. The Molly's tagging down Warriors so much, and I mean, you said it. The Mac 10s, they can do a job, and the job's being done by the looks of things.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was just the fact they were kind of so close to the smoke. Utility was good. But it's a great call from Zero Tenacity. Obviously, the finances for Monte is pretty good, so they will want to keep these weapons alive. Eco will get one. MQ, aware of his aggressor.
Yeah, they know exactly where these final 2 players are. Wasn't the best sort of best aggression as a team that we have seen. So the 2 CTs will be allowed to save, but we do finally see Zero Tenacity get on the board on their second half.
AUG on the T side. I don't know whether I love it or hate it.
I don't mind it, I don't mind it. There's some longer range angles on this map.
I think maybe if you play it towards A main, you can kind of look to slowly creep in with it. But it does seem as such going to be wielded by AVN.
Yeah, Namana likes to take a bit more space towards mid. To just have the player who's going to be holding a bit more towards V main. Maybe just to watch that. Timing could have been great for a random pot shot. Namana does take a decent amount of damage. Stiko takes a nade in response.
Great nade onto Kyofo and Simka though. DMQ. Great timing on his utility. A main has been taken here from Zero Tenacity. We're just going to be backing away though. It seems as though B is the intended goal. Very impressed with AVN though. Currently 17 and 11. Top performer of the ZT side. Joint top with DemQ on the server. Oh, I like the idea from Kraz now, but kill doesn't come through. Kyofo a little too quick. And AVN wielding that AUG very nicely. We will see Stiko find one towards middle. Rotation coming through now. Whether they're ready for Warrior to be so aggressive on the AWP, but the missed shot is devastating. And now, wondering if we're just going to be seeing the save, but they are close to the action. Stiko finds Brute Monster. And this might be the go call. AVN though takes down Stiko in the back lines. Nice shot from DemQ. Warro finds with the AWP as well. And now it's all on AVN. They know he's towards A main. They've got a smoke and another flashbang. Smoke on the bomb. Stick gonna need to come through. Oh, Warro's Deagle. We mentioned that Warro missed a couple shots when trying to make his way into the bomb site, but when it matters most, Warro hitting true.
Yeah, wow, what a response there from Monte. Was a 3-on-3, but became a 3-on-2. Monte had their backs up against the wall, but managed to make it work just about.
It looked like a great round from Zero Tenacity, though. They find the player towards E-Box quite comfortably. Monte, though, success in this one should allow them to find double digits. Nice nade there onto Stiko. But look, Charlie, it was what? 10-2 scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot closer here. The fact that we've only seen one round on this second half from ZT is a little bit scary at this point.
Should we check the stats? Maybe Anubis is CT side. Does look at so far this game.
Yeah, right now, I wouldn't blame you for thinking so.
Goffo and Simka might look to try and take some control towards E-Box, and Haji doesn't want to be caught sleeping at the wheel, so we'll just be manoeuvring his way back. Definitely doesn't want to get caught off by aggressors in E-Box. A minute and 10 into the round, and no kill found yet. Util coming over the B-bomb site though, and Haji doesn't want to get caught out in the open. Oh, but he will be pushing out into the open. Can find one quick trade from Brute Monster, and now with the bomb going down, clear to where Zero Tenacity's intentions are. 4 versus 4.
Monster dropping back towards B main. There's two players here. There is no smoke grenade from Monte that could stop these T's. Matty being able to get an angle, but Brute Monster holding towards Temple. It'll be so hard to crack, but Simka just swings on out alone, finds the kill.
It's such an important pick from Simka. Namana doubles down, and now all on Kraz now, but will be found. Namana getting 3 in that post plant. Very key, but the aggression from Simka, it's just that 50-50 play. He takes the fight. If he loses it, it gives the advantage to Monte quite heavily. It's a 4-on-2, and that's where the round can be very difficult. But that aggression from Simka and the triple from Namana, it gives ZT 12, and now they've got 4 opportunities to close out map 2. And they should be able to do so with the weaker investment. We've got an XM in play, an MP9 as well. Only 6 pieces of utility.
Yeah, this should be that chance, like you mentioned. Might need to see Warrior get a bit more aggressive in this one.
DemQ to take that aggression. He has spotted out 1. The steps as well will have been heard from Kyofo towards Rugs.
Map number 2 feels like it is slipping away from them with each passing moment. Not a lot of util remaining. Stiko loses out the gunfight to Namana's AK.
The AWP finds as well. 5-on-3 now. Still got the AWP of Warro in play, but Kraz now needs to go huge. Can only find 1. It's a 4-on-2 with these remaining CTs locked out. Surely it's done, Charlie.
Yeah, it very much feels that way. Map
Okay,
number
bye.
3 on the cards. Bomb still not planted just yet. About to be now.
Don't think it matters though, does it? 2 flashbangs to their name, an XM in play, no kit. To be quite brutal, no chance. It's going to be so tough here. Naman is in a great position. Can dodge these flashes, and they've not even pushed off them. And as the smoke fades, Namana appears. We'll get one, and the XM. Oh, the XM attempting. Now a range, but Haji finally falling. Simka will eliminate. And Zero Tenacity, they take things to map number 3. Dust 2. Gonna be that final battleground between these two to decide which team can progress to the quarterfinals. But 13-10 on Mirage for Monte, a 13-8 from Zero Tenacity. So, look, I think this final map is going to be very interesting. I think it's going to come down to individuals because we've spoken about Dust 2 being a little bit of a kind of an unknown entity for either side. So I'm so excited. But Charlie, thoughts and feelings about Anubis?
Yeah, I mean, we saw brilliant performance early doors for Zero Tenacity. 10-2 at the halftime switch is so strong. But just the fact that Monte were able to bring it back is definitely pretty monumental, because such a hefty scoreline, you can easily see a team just fold and sort of give up from there, or just fall by the wayside. But no, they brought it back, they kept it competitive, but at the end of the day, it is still a map that has gone the way of Zero Tenacity, so Dust 2 Fred is where it's all going to really matter.
Yeah, obviously one map to determine which team can progress. It's going to be an exciting final map. But before that, we're going to have a little bit of a look on the analysis there. So you guys are going to be joined by Atro, and he's going to be taking you through how Anubis did go.
So there we go. The fact that we managed to get to see a 10-2 split and still make it competitive definitely shows great prowess out here for Monte. But again, this wasn't a question. After we got to see the beginning, we all knew that Zero Tenacity were going to take this one away. Ever since the beginning rounds, where even though Monte put up 2 on the board, they just kind of rolled on through, didn't they? Zero Tenacity, they had multi-frag after multi-frag after multi-frag. And that's really what kept them going, right? AVN, Nemanja, Brute Monster even, finding so many of these important multi-frags. Look at this, right? AVN on that spray down. That is one of the most beautiful spray downs I have seen on that side of the map. And yeah, it just all kind of works out, right? Pistol round goes on over to Brute Monster as he finds that initial 1-4K. As Monte kind of messed up their utility here onto the T side. I mean, that is kind of the main reason why they couldn't really get onto the board. They were very slow when it came down to actually using up their util, executing, and they just couldn't peek off of a lot of flashes that they've got, right? So Zero Tenacity take full advantage of that, and I think maybe they've heard me, right? Because if you guys remember into the pre-show, into the analysis segment, I did talk about the fact that I don't care. I don't want to see a good early game from Monte. I want to see a good finisher, and that's kind of what they gave us, right? Because they did come into the second half trying to give us a comeback, but it was to no avail, right? I mean, Zero Tenacity, they definitely were able to stabilize, to just keep it cool, keep it fresh, and to find themselves off on even more multi-frags to find those clutches. Monte went out the second pistol round though onto the second half, and they managed to actually bring it back quite a couple of rounds in, right? I mean, we get to see Ro16 really pull through for the team. He was one of the main factors as to why Monte were even allowed to pick up this many rounds. And I mean, even though Z10 were looking unstoppable on the map, Monte still tried. We go 5 in a row. Comeback comes around. Z10 put it on the board. And honestly, I would have loved to see on a different universe Haji actually succeed on that same clutch, because that was crazy too. But we do end off the map 13-8. Moving on over to the decider. The caster boys already talked about it. My good friends already said that, you know, it's gonna be an interesting decision, an interesting map to go to, because Dust 2 is pretty unpredictable right about now. It's a very puggy map, it's very individually focused, and right now we did get to see some individuals coming through from Zero Tenacity, but still I do have hope out here from that first map of Monte to still be able to go basically KDA positive on most of these players and to be able to put up a great performance down on Dust 2 as well. So until then, we'll be right back after a quick break to see how the decider is going to go and who is going to be winning this one out.
Tired of boring case openings? Do you always get only cheap skins? The Hellcase website has tons of options to upgrade your inventory. It's up to you to participate in giveaways, events, or compete with other players in opening cases. Hellcase, your world of expensive skins.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction, and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, here on the third best of 3 of the day, the third round of 16 game. It is going to be going to that third map as well. And Dust 2 is up on the cards. Zola, I mean, we've kind of talked about it, but it really just might turn into a coin flip for this one, depending on the individual performances. Who do you think is going to be the star coming out here for Dust 2 on both teams?
Yeah, I think when it comes to Monte, I think Krasnow's had a very impressive performance. I think it will come down to Krasnow if Monte do find that success. But look, we saw Brute Monster's dominance on Anubis. We saw him have big moments on Mirage, and I feel like Dust 2, we talk about being a map that can be dominated by individuals, and a lot of the time by the AWPers. And not to say that Woro hasn't had moments on the AWP, but I feel like Woro's brightest moments have been when wielding the rifle. We saw that kind of hero rifle investment where they won the round off the back of it. Nice entries on Mirage, and I feel like it's interesting to see that Woro obviously favors both weapons, but we've seen him AWPing a lot more kind of as the priority, but hasn't really had the same amount of impact as the likes of Brute Monster. So I'm interested to see where this Dust 2 is going to go. I think it is a little bit more of a coin flip, but look, I think maybe Zero Tenacity to take it. I think, although I think at the start of this series it might have been a bit more of an outlandish statement, but from the way that everyone was performing, you know, back to back, we saw so many rounds where it was just 4Ks from individuals, and it wasn't like clutches were required. Zero Tenacity, their CC side looked impeccable on Anubis.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting with Woro when you talk about him on the AWP, because I mean, you look back to Mirage, where I'd probably say he had the most success with it. Especially those first few rounds. He's playing a lot more timidly than someone like Brute Monster, and I do definitely think that has to come hand in hand when you are having that in-game leader role alongside. You don't want to be hyper-aggressive, constantly taking these fights, looking for peaks left, right, and centre, while also calling for the rest of your team to do. If you take that sort of step back with the AWP, holding an angle, it's a lot easier to manage and sort of dictate how you want the game to go. I'm questioning maybe if that's why we saw him a little bit more how he was there on Mirage, but I think he has to be the big name player on Dust. I think he has to be. It's about that can be so heavily controlled by us, and when maybe it's not going to be too intense in the calling department, maybe that's where he can really try to step up.
Yeah, well, that's the idea, though, right? Because he is usually a passive operator that kind of forces the rest of Monte to follow in his steps, as he is the one calling as well. And we really got to see that out here onto Anubis. They were T-side, right? And not only did they have a couple of issues when they were trying to figure out their executes, but also the fact that they were so passive in that first half, right? It was just them waiting for something to happen, and they basically played in the hands of Zero Tenacity, having such good awareness of the map, having so much experience on the map. Kind of Zero Tenacity were just knowing where to peek all the times. They had every single timing, they had every single opening, and again it felt like the whole control was in the hands of Zero Tenacity there for that second map, and Warrior was a little bit overwhelmed by it, in all fairness, right? Because he wasn't really able to call out anything to really change it. The 2 rounds that they managed to pick up were rounds in which they were able to find the opening frag, and then they were going in ultra aggressive onto the side, planting away the bomb and playing for the retake, like playing for the post plant. And because they were playing for the post plant, I mean, the CT side had to kind of actually try to come back up, had to retake, and they were able to win it, right? So again, it's due to Warrior's calling that we have to hope that he's going to be able to kind of put a little bit of water on his face and try to play a good out here onto the Dust 2, maybe more individually rather than as IGL, and try to focus on down to that second caller, right? Maybe that's gonna get the team a little bit more on track.
Yeah, I think a lot of what we're going to be seeing here in this final map is going to be kind of the contest for middle. I feel like a lot of the time we see the fights towards long, but I think maybe because we're seeing Brute Monster going to be a little bit more aggressive and we're a bit more passive, I feel like the long fight should always go the way of ZT, because maybe we're not going to be seeing such aggression from Waro. But yeah, I think middle is going to be the main contest. I feel like if it can be found by the Ts, I think that's where the CT side, it can be really tough, because a lot of your focus will be away from the bomb sites, and that's where site executes can just be so clinical. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think it is going to be, you know, a big game for both teams. And for Zero Tenacity, look, they're facing a very tough opponent, and the fact they've got the opportunity to take the series is pretty impressive.
It is indeed, but you guys can take it straight into the server right now, straight into the game. Let me know what's going to happen out here for the last one as you're chaperoning us through Dust 2, and let's see it in play.
Yeah, ZT going to be starting on the CT side. Dust 2 still a map that I feel like we need a couple more months of it in play to really determine the siding, the favouring, but I think I believe it's somewhat T-sided currently, but who knows?
Yeah, I think it's more even just to determine how good teams are at the map. But Brute Monster taking this fight early towards short. Same with both the CTs actually, haven't really gone excellently. Just like that, Monte find themselves in a 4 versus 2. Krabs now finds AVN in very dominant looking early portion.
Great pistol round. Absolutely perfect. It seemed as though both Brute Monster and I believe Kyofo, they were fighting for short, but it was like, it was a 4 versus 2 in that gunfight. The fact they only find 1, I thought Brute Monster would go down for nothing, and so would Kyofo, but yeah, it was a great call from Monte. Very nice stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the timing's so strong towards when they actually took that short fight. Didn't allow the CTs to get set up at all there. You tell over towards long, and you're talking about mid-fight, we are going to already see a bit of an early one as all 5 players for Zero Tenacity. That's where they're heading.
Nice from Namana. We'll get one Kyofo as well, finding a pick. Waro doubling down, and Waro looking for more. 4 kills in this one from Waro. Real big start, but with ZT finding 2 picks, nearly a third onto Stico as well. They've dealt some damage. They've done some kind of economic dismantlement against Monte.
Yeah, they've definitely made things a little more challenging for them financially. So a round win here would be quite nice.
Are we going to see DemQ going fast towards short? Because I feel like that's the only real position that a Mac 10 can really work well. But with the spawns for Monte, I'd love to see kind of a fast B. I think it would have been the right call, but
yeah, it's got to be some sort of speed, some sort of quick play out for Monte to have this smack.
We know that retaking B can be a real difficulty, but it isn't the Mac going towards the B bomb site, making its way out long. Best of luck to DemQ. Has already crossed, but he's trapped in the Molotov. But this is where you question.
But it's just his presence, though. It looks like they wanted to send all this presence, and then the rest of the team hit towards B. And yeah, there are 3 players up long. All 3 players very, very close. But the double B setup's actually a really great call alongside this.
Yeah, MQ, I don't think he's going to be able to get out of things. No, certainly
There's
not.
a lot of
Deals a
damage
lot,
with Kyofo. But look how many plays it kept towards long for that long. The issue is the rest of Monte did very little with that space.
Yeah, they had loads of time. They had loads of kind of opportunity to work with, but haven't really gained much. A lot of util has been dumped, though, from the CTs. They've just got one Molotov remaining. Will be sent out now. Avian's in a nice position. If goes uncleared, surely to find many. Kraz now low HP, has been found, and Avian can drop off now. Avian gets one more before falling, but Waro, nice trade. It's a 2-on-2. It's a low HP Kyofo. It's a no utility retake towards B. And now all on the 5 HP of Kyofo. So Monte, although the round didn't look perfectly played initially, it's looking good now. Surely just a save from Kyofo.
I mean, regardless, although it wasn't the best, although it definitely could have been a lot cleaner initially, the fact that they were able to keep only 2 players towards that B side of the map and have the rest of the team push on out, have Hadji holding those lurks. But one of the most important kills was actually Waro, before getting the bomb down on the empty site, pushing out towards the doors and catching off one of the A players. That was a massive fight to find. Massive kills to get and leave Kyofo in the 1 versus 2.
Yeah, Brew Monster didn't seem ready for it whatsoever. With just the saved M4 from Kyofo. Expecting a couple Deagles to be invested alongside it, but Brute Monster has got 3k in the bank. Safe to assume we'll be wielding the AWP in the next. But Monte started off nicely here on the T side. Avian attempting here with the Deag. A lot of damage dealt though, and that's the M4 falling. Stiko finds Waro, takes down Avian, and Waro has had a really good start, currently 9-0.
Yeah, another clean one here. Brute Monster will at least find one. Not the one we thought, but we'll still find one. MQ turns and does get the trade on his fallen teammate. But Monte 4-0 start here. AWP now in the hands of Brute Monster.
Not one in play for Monte yet, though. They could have opted for it.
I think Warrior's feeling it right now with the rifles and sort of saying, I'm 9-0 up. There's no point in sort of changing anything. We're looking good. When things start to go wrong, I'll bring one out.
Yeah, I think it's the right approach. I think Warrior's played very, very well. If he can just continue to get these openers. Exactly what's needed. A lot of players towards the A-bomb site currently. Brute Monster's up. Going to be taking some control towards short now. Once again, it's another round with zero tenacity. They've burnt through so much utility already. Nice nade there.
Yeah, noise has been heard from both sides. The bomb is making its way towards the B tunnels.
The smoke towards CT. Simka has dropped one of his own though. Going to be spotted, and Simka not going to be disciplined in this one. Straight away going to be taking that fight. Flashbang not good enough really to blind off AVN, and we'll be able to find Kraz now off the back of it. Now it's a 5-on-3, make it a 5-on-2. Oh, AVN, he does so much damage. Kill's not found, but look, 17 HP on the remaining 2. Hadji deals a fair bit of damage, but the bomb's been dropped, and DemQ just to save. Monte finally silenced here on their T side.
Yeah, and Simka, big round. It feels like right now we're seeing Monte trying to abuse AVN a little bit towards the B site. Knowing that, okay, Namana and Brute Monster head towards A lot. These are sort of like the 2 stars of the team.
Yeah.
Why even question going there? Let's see if we can find something towards B, find something towards mid, and try to punish these guys. And I mean, it's 4-0. It's 4-1 right now. So I mean, there's clearly some success from here. But I mean, if we keep on seeing that, Monte gonna be Zero Tenacity gonna be very aware of it.
Well, I think now Waro, understanding that Brute Monster's got the ult, and now going to be bringing one out of his own. With finances somewhat dismantled for Monte, a great opportunity from ZT. No one towards middle. Once again, Zero Tenacity, they're quite heavily fighting here towards long. So they've got 4 players there. I'd love to see kind of a fast short, or maybe even a fast B play, because Zero Tenacity would really struggle on that retake.
Actually, going to be taking some space towards mid. At least has a clear initially. Spots nothing out.
Once again, Brute Monster posted up towards short. Nate's going to come through, and Stiko peeks right into it.
It's a really good read right now from Zero Tenacity. We just saw the mid beast mode come out, but there's still 4 players towards the A side of the map. But you can see, look, they've switched Namana up towards B. Still unknown fully as to where Monte are going to head. It does look like it's going to be another mid to B. Haji holding the line. Simka.
Ooh, Simka so close to being spotted here. Just going to be playing on the edge of the smoke. Haji will eventually spot, but Simka will be the one to find. And now Namana with a lot to do. Playing towards the barrel. This is where AVN had success in the last. And it will be Namana doubling down here. And a 4-on-2 now. Simka's in a great position. DemQ not fully clearing it. Now it's all on Waro. We'll get one. Surely aware of the second. And Waro attempting it. He's been given an opportunity. Tries with the pot shot. Oh, missed shots here. What's happened from AVN? Should have been an easy kill there, but still Zero Tenacity, they will find it.
See, you can see that Monte is so close to taking these rounds there, but it feels like they either wait for Haji to find the kill or for him to die before they're really fully out. I don't know if they're not ready or what it is, but there should never be allowed to have the second player actually rotate into the site by the time you go for the execute. That's why Haji's there. He's holding those rotates. He's looking for that kill. But last couple of rounds, we've seen Haji lose the fight. And we see Simka already in the bomb site by the time the execute's coming through.
I think it'd be way better for him to just be a lurk. I think it'd be far more valuable, because if there's 5 flashes coming over the top, Namana getting pressured, that's where Simka has to rotate through. He can't just be sitting holding for Haji. But yeah, I think Monte, it seems as though they don't want to fight towards long, which is understandable, but I think a fast B hit, I think it will be the solution to their kind of recent problems.
Yeah, we will see a bit of an investment. Hero AK from Waro. Rest of the guys taking a bit of a weaker buy, so we do have a couple of Glocks in play.
It's the first round that Zero Tenacity haven't kind of so heavily pressured towards long. Obviously Kyofo's got control of it, but they've not sent 4 players there. Fairly decent setup. I think Zero Tenacity realised that it's going to be some weaker weapons accompanied by some investment. So they've opted for kind of just a site split. 2 towards B, 3 towards A. It's the right decision. Simka's got quite a lot of utility. The second any contact's made, we can see Brute Monster holding the cross as well. I think it's a good call from Zero Tenacity. You're not going to be seeing the run boost across. Now contact soon to be made, but it's Brute Monster's AWP that will connect. Flashbang coming over. Very simple stuff here from Simka and Brute Monster. Waro all that remains. Namana not being quiet, but Namana will find 5 survivors. Money for ZT's looking good now.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen a bit of a turnaround here. Very slow T side that we are currently seeing from Monte, but through Tenacity 3 in a row. Back in action. I love that from Brute Monster. Don't rush anything. No need.
Yeah, taking his time. This is what I was on about. You know, when we have 3 players towards the A bomb site, Kyofo can be sending the flashbangs over. Simka holding the lines. Brute Monster taking players down as well. I think it's just a kind of a very nice played round there from Zero Tenacity. There's no need for them to try and kind of keep some contest and kind of control towards middle, because they know there's weaker weapons. The only chance for a victory is getting control of the site.
Oh. Risky. Haji's nearby. We'll get the kill. Able to back away. Brute Monster finds a pick elsewhere to keep things even.
With Namana going down, though, they know that Namana's playing sometimes as that secondary towards the B bomb site, so I'd love to see Monte now make their way onto B. But Brute Monster will find Stiko.
Yeah, fight towards long. Doesn't go the way of Kyofo. MQ, huge kill to find, and it's Brute Monster trapped on the bomb side, but I don't think there's anyone else you'd rather have. Waiting, playing in this series, but the boost, the scope of the orb, not able to spot Haji. Takes that kill away.
Yeah, flash to come through, not realising that short is smoked. They will send a nade, but nothing spotted. Ooh. So close to being spotted while jumping there, but this is where ZT could just look to disengage and save, and they will be.
They're calling it off. Monte denies Zero Tenacity leveling things up. Deny them going on a 4-round streak of their own, and we will finally see a bit of success from them, but it's not an easy round.
It's not the cleanest
Tried to pull off. No, I mean, you've got to look at it. Haji finds the opening by Namana getting spotted out and swinging into a molly to find it. We see a very, very 50-50 gunfight towards long doors that DemQ takes. It's going to be tough for them to do that reliably.
I like that we're seeing Monte opting for plays like that with the boost, because Brute Monster just holding the edge of the smoke in the hopes that someone's pushing through, but Brute Monster is looking good here.
Yeah, he's probably disappointed he hasn't been tested more. Seen a lot of obviously mid to Bs. But when he is getting pressured, I mean, he's finding his success.
Well, Monte, they've realised Brute Monster's going to be playing towards A, so they're generally steering clear. Big round for both sides, though, with the opportunity to kind of reset the finances. Just the one loss bonus for Monte, so even though DemQ is sitting around 3.1k, the rest of the guys won't have enough to invest.
Yeah, look how isolated AVN is here towards this side of the map. No one remotely close, but still, he's playing aggressive, he's showing pressure to try to deny any chance that they push through this quickly, but here they come. Haji, first to engage. AVN's double though is brilliant. Stiko catches off the first rotate. Brute Monster second.
Yeah, Brute Monster holding the lines. Namana by his side. Smoke coming through, and Stiko needing
to
try and connect through the door, but it is Brute Monster that's successful and quick rotations. But this is where you question Monte. Why are we pushing through the smoke grey screen? Not accompanied by a flash or nothing.
Yeah, crazy. That AVN's allowed to do so much damage and find two. Everyone was towards long for Zero Tenacity. That felt destined. I mean, clearly Monte's game plan coming into this is, okay, let's abuse towards B.
They're not really doing it, are they?
No. No, it's constantly going against them. Really actually struggling to do what needs to be done.
Yeah, and I mentioned if Monte are to win this, I think Krasnal will be the kind of the strongest performer. Definitely not had the best of games so far. Only 3 and 6. Obviously, Kyofo, he's got less kills, but it's kind of what happens when you are that long door defender. Krasnal getting very aggressive here. Krasnal will find one. Brute Monster's trade is key, but Namana will find, and this is why they've got 4 players towards long, Charlie, because the trades, they'll always go the way of the CTs.
Yeah, 3 on 2 now, Hadji. Just on this Mac. And Stiko with the Galil. Gonna have to be some good timing found.
Stiko is still staying here towards long doors in the hopes that Hadji's lurk can find something, but Zero Tenacity, they've got no real need to aggress here towards middle, so Hadji is going to be holding this angle with a Mac 10 for quite some time.
And we now got Namana heading down towards mid to hold that. And then you've got to consider towards A, you've got Brute Monster there with the AWP posted up. Not a ton of util to try to deny vision. Stiko drops, big fight to win.
AVN's in a nice position though.
And we've seen it before, Fred, so many times what he can do. Is advancing, able to find Stiko. Flashbang's not perfect, but Hadji's here. AVN, what a performance he's actually been having here. Tested so many rounds, but every time he stands so tall.
Yeah, I think as well as that kind of B anchor, and when I say B anchor, it seems like it's just half the map anchor, because most of the time, Zero Tenacity, they're sending 4 players towards long and then rotating through CT, but the whole of B, the whole of tunnels, only defended generally by AVN, yet still putting up numbers, doing a really good job. But Monte, they're so heavily going towards the B-bomb site, yet success is not found in these kind of 4 versus 1 scenarios. And Brute Monster, a very nice opener here onto Stiko. And Namana towards lower tunnels will find Hadji.
Yeah, it was just obviously the weaker buy, but still, damage can be dealt, and just like that, DemQ demonstrates how.
Everyone's been chipped away as well. Weaponry can be retrieved and wielded by Kraz now. Brute Monster just holding towards B tunnels with the big green, and finally AVN seems as though
allowed to leave the site.
Yeah, exactly. You can finally see what the rest of the map looks like.
Yeah, we'll get a bit of a chance to actually get to see now.
What's this angle I'm holding? I've never been here before.
But surprise to probably no one, Monte going back towards B.
Yeah, the problem is here is Warrior's going to be trying to take this. Ooh, timing. Wants to somehow
Had the
survive.
chance. Ooh, missed shot here, but the thing is, it's actually really easy to find these kills through the smoke if people spam.
Yeah, shot tracers. Quite easy
It's
to
such a tight chokehold as well. Yeah, having it all, it's pretty comfortable, and you can see they don't. Mori did have a slight chance to find Brute Monster, but without finding that, we see DemQ try to take the fight towards mid. Scout of Woro finds nothing, and AVN will find his first in the round towards his favourite B-bomb site.
I think as well, Brute Monster was just a distraction in that last altercation. But look, Zero Tenacity, they come back now in the driver's seat, looking to find 7 as well, with that being kind of a strong CT half. I think the fact that Zero Tenacity, they've kind of gone towards long plenty of times with many players, and the fact that Monte have stayed clear of it.
Yeah, but the fact that we've seen Zero Tenacity take the lead after being 4-0 down, Monte only being able to post 1 round on the board since then.
Finally, it looks as though Monte are changing things up. They might look to head towards A through short. And Simka now could be feeling the force of quite a lot of utility, but with the mana rotating in, oh, Simka can just be
overlooked.
Oh, I loved it. What can he find? Oh, many players are running, but Simka will get two. Can he find the third? Takes down the bomb carrier. Simka very low HP, but he's done quite a lot of work here. A lot going to be on AVN.
Oh,
Simka finds
wow.
another. He's on for the ace. He knows that Demq's here, the Molotov. Gonna force him out, and Demq will find.
Molotov misses, in fact, as well. Unfortunate for Simka there. AVN, he's had some really brilliant moments towards B.
I love it from AVN. Demq seems very aware, though.
But with the amount of time on the clock, you might not have too much time to worry about this. Demq, brilliant 1v2 clutch, but Simka Fred almost really ripped that round out of Monte's hands.
Yeah, it would have been a tough one for Monte, because finally we saw an opener from Waro. We saw them head towards A. Yeah, there was so much utility. Why is there no molly towards Goose?
Yeah,
Look,
just
6 to
assuming
6.
it's clearly. Getting completely punished for it.
And somehow they still win the round. That's a ridiculous thing. Simka gets a 4K. Yeah, they still lose. Obviously, the pistol on the T side went the way of Monte. Zero Tenacity's turn. Make things fair, I guess, but Simka will find. Now Stiko out towards long. Trapped in pit. Will find one, but Brute Monster's trade is good. And now Waro taking some control here towards middle. Waro, nice find. Brings things back level. E250 on Brute Monster now attempting, and Waro needs to isolate as there is a player down towards top mid as well in AVN. And the mana at range, deep towards CT spawn. They're on their tail, but the T's should be able to get away with it.
Yeah, maybe just about. It's all on Waro. Spots the players, does at least find one.
They slowed down.
Oh no, he's very exposed here. He can now get crunched on Waro.
He needs to stop fighting, really. He's got a teammate in Haji. But Waro's getting more aggressive. He's hungry for the kills, but in fact, will be his own downfall. And the last contact that was made was towards tunnels, so they're very hesitant to extend out towards B. And Haji, he's been given plenty of opportunities to find kills, just hasn't really hit the shots. Spots out one, but AVM finds, and now pistol round will be found from Zero Tenacity. Very kind of back and forth pistol. Quite aggressive from Monte, but doesn't pan out in their favour. And Charlie, if you look at the kills, we've got, on the side of ZT, we've got Brute Monster, AVN, Namana and Simka all around that 10 kill mark. They're all stepping up. Yeah, it seems for Monte it is just Waro currently. MQ as well has had some good clutches and moments, but I think Monte a little outmatched when it comes to individual set.
Struggling to really get that fire lit under some of their guys. We'll have the chance, but Zero Tenacity are likely going to be finding 8 here and extending their lead, which is pretty crazy to think about when this is going to be 8 out of the last 10 rounds that they've won if they win this one.
Very passive from both sides, neither wanting to make a big mistake. I don't think the T's went up long ever when it was Monte. Which is pretty ridiculous. I feel like a large majority of this map is kind of a fight for long.
Now these fights don't seem particularly ideal for anyone. Very long range. The Mono is wanting to take them still, wanting to find a few frags here. Okay, WQ will find Brute Monster. I mean, this is what I mean. These fights feel a little bit unnecessary to take. But they are starting to go the way. As soon as Simka's in, everything stabilizes. Nice triple there from Simka.
Wants the fourth, but DemQ might not be giving it away. 9 HP. At least he can save the Zeus in the next.
You can drop that over to a teammate, maybe.
That was far too powerful to be dropped over.
I suppose 1 kill at least found, but Zero Tenacity, they do indeed find 8.
As you mentioned though, Charlie, it's a big weaponry investment for Monte. A loss here. It's where ZT projected for double digits.
I mean, we've seen some unbelievable B-holds for Zero Tenacity. Curious to see how they're going to be for Monte.
Well, top tunnels has been taken here from ZT, and with both Kyofo and Simka making their way into lower, we're going to be seeing a bit of control taken towards middle. Press now with not the best of movement, but nice shot there onto AVN. Nice trade from Kyofo onto Waro, and that space has been taken now. Oh, Namana. All the smoke fades, but Demq gets the timing.
Yeah, Demq the one putting the pieces together first. What it means, Stiko goes down. Damage dealt to Kyofo, but clean find in response. It's all on Brute Monster, not allowed to even have any breathing room. Demq finds. Yeah, Demq's coming alive here a bit.
MQ drops the AK to the player in CT in the hopes to pick one up for himself, but sadly a Galil. Look at the money already for ZT. We've got 2 Tech 9s in play, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, gotta be some speed behind this, otherwise it's gonna be a bit challenging. Here's the speed gonna come out. First kill does go the way of the CTs. Second, not following just yet. Oh,
I think that might be surely a lag out or something.
Yeah, looks like it. Still advantage for Monte. Haji finding Kyofo on the lurk as well. Things should be stabilized. Brute Monster's tagged on down.
Waiting for aggression here. Ash coming over. AVN though will get one. Repositioning now. Dropping down, but Haji will find. And now Brute Monster all that remains. 1v3. Attempting here, but just cannot connect the bullet. Oh, we'll get the first on the Tech 9. Searching for the second. But the Molotov forcing him out in the open, and Demq will find enough time for the defuse. And even with the disconnect or the lag out, maybe the mouse ran out of charge, I don't know, but they still win the round.
Yeah, that looked a bit awkward there, how things went initially. Leveled up again, Dust 2. Really providing what we want for a third map in this series.
An open-ended finish here.
Yeah, so many question marks, a lot of things up in the air.
Charlie, we spoke about this map siding and about how it's kind of a bit unknown, but in fact, it is Zero Tenacity's T side in which they usually struggle, so maybe Monte have got a better chance than we initially thought. Yuto coming over's looking good, and Demq finding Kyofo. Warwick, nice double hit. Demq, we mentioned no one really stepping up around Warwick. Demq certainly has.
Yeah, this half he's been brilliant. He's had so many huge moments, whether it's one impact kill, 2 kills here, 2 or 3 kills. He's had some very big moments in the last several rounds or so.
Investment in play here, though, for both sides. This time, we finally got the AWP in play for ZT. Ooh, Namana going down to Demq. Nice opener and middle hit from Monte. I guess Monte's T-side game plan was the same as their CT. They're not really looking to take many fights towards long. It's understandable, to be honest.
I mean, they've got the early kill here. Obviously, it does come in the form of DemQ once again.
He's low HP though now, Charlie, so I think we're going to have to see a far more passive approach. But we got a double short, one in mid. DemQ towards CT, just holding for this long aggression.
We're going to see the T just silently cross now. The smoke will come down now.
This is the go call now for Zero Tenacity. They lose that second kill towards middle. Utah going to be coming over towards short, but the ramp molly will delay, and DemQ finds another. Somehow on low HP, making things work, but Brute Monster's AWP mentioned his ability while combat AWPing. The bomb plant denied though, and now Simka 1 versus 4, and aggression up long, surely to take him down. Oh, Warrow will find, but not in the nicest of fashions.
Yeah, and Kraz now double from him, 2 once again from DemQ.
No AWP saved.
Allow Monte to find double digits. I think right now they're happy with how they're playing.
Oh, all but the CT side of Dust.
I mean, it is brilliant, yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we'll bring it out still.
They could have saved
actually
it.
never has been. Was it dropped across? Because no one's money seemingly really went down.
Well, no one had it when it was the switch, and it wasn't invested from Warrow.
Unless they dropped it on the floor instantly and maybe just didn't show in the UI?
Maybe, yeah, possibly.
Okay, well, maybe stick with the rifles, Warrow.
Yeah,
it's not a great round for you. It's going to go for it again, though.
Come on, Warrow. Give it your best shot.
MQ's not wanting that to happen. He wants to be the one to find the kills. He's found 2 already. Ooh, nice fight from Kyofo. There we go. Warrow does find the kill.
You might have had to reload in between.
Maybe a few times reloaded there. But Kyofo, only 40 points of health. DemQ is here towards the car. I think does come through with DemQ. Just the health advantage came in clutch there, and Monte putting themselves closer and closer to this finish.
And Charlie, look at the money for Monte. It's perfect. They're going to be getting the investment in the next regardless. But look, Zero Tenacity. It does started off, you know, or I don't want to say started off. It ended as a nice half. It was a nice comeback, and we mentioned that Monte haven't looked too good on Dust. I think the calling from Monte wasn't perfect as well, and on their T side, but they've definitely restabilized.
Yeah, both teams are looking like they favour this CT side quite a bit. Maybe it is just that inexperience, or with the map being a bit newer, that they're not perfect in terms of organising these T sides just yet.
But look, there's not many more opportunities here. Heading into round number 20, Zero Tenacity. If they want this comeback, it's got to come through here. It's got to come through in this round, because otherwise finances are low, rounds falling away, and long aggression will come through for ZT. They've taken this control. Warrior is in a nice position, currently holding towards lower tons. Haji's now going to get aggressive, and it's just whether Namana is going to be ready for this. Ooh, Haji backs away, in fact.
Gonna get boosted up, but Warrow seemingly wants it elsewhere. Supposed to play towards Goose, but Simka too quick for him. Vantage Zero Tenacity here, but not for long as MQ does strike.
Same with Kraz now. Namana eventually chiming in, but Kraz now finding Kyofo's gonna make things tough. He is coming from CT though. Oh, but Haji finds, and now it's all on Namana. We'll get the first attempt at the spray transfer. But the bomb under the control here of Monte. Ooh, they've got information now. This
And it's forcing
so
Namana to advance once again. Both players going towards short. Timing could be good here. Anyone could just look towards CT and Namana's dead.
I think it's the same for Namana. He could have looked short and would have found a kill, but hasn't done so. Bomb's been picked up. Oh, Namana can isolate. And now Haji. 1 versus 1. Namana, sight set towards long though. It's understandable. It's the fact that Hadji doesn't swing after that kill comes through, but he can just save an EK. The money is so good here. Oh, and the shooting bodies.
Okay.
That's not very kind. Good fun though.
Bit of BM from the Frenchman. Interesting, Hadji. Let's hope he can back it up for
make sure
his own sake. Otherwise, if they lose this game, it's going to be a bit awkward. But they've primed themselves in a very good position. 12-8.
Well, he's hitting the headshots on the dead bodies. Let's make sure he's hitting them on the alive ones as well.
I mean, another player who I think that's he had a bit of a turnaround going into this half is going to be Krasnow. I think he's had a big couple of rounds recently. Had some big moments. Very quiet in the first half. Had a number of multi-kills that have been very, very key.
And now Krasnow could be tested. A lot of the aggressors for Zero Tenacity towards upper tunnels, but they are going to be taking the fight towards middle now. And Waro starts things off nicely by finding Kyofo, potentially the opener of the final round. And Hadji now doesn't hit the heads. Maybe the shooting of bodies a bit unnecessary, but MQ will find Simka. The trading will go the way back for Monte as they have that extra man to work with.
Yeah, just those extra players towards mid. The trading was just very good.
It was also the fact that Warrior found one towards mid as well.
Yeah, I mean, but obviously if we just had those two players towards mid, we probably would have been level 3-on-3 here, but
yeah, most definitely.
That extra man, it's very important.
Looks as though it is going to be this A play here. Steps are going to be heard. Molly can be thrown, in fact, but sent towards ramp. Stiko now can just delay his rotation. There's no real need for him to force himself on the bomb site. Nade going to be coming through.
Oh, another.
How many nades are there? Oh, there is another, in fact. Dunk straight onto ABN.
Wow.
And Waro finds as well. Bomb can't even go down. And look, you can see him laughing. You understand why?
What a crazy way. I mean, you've got to think there, if you're AVN, punching in those digits. AVN's had a pretty solid game. Getting ready to get that bomb down, and next thing he knows, 3 nades take him out of the server, all thrown by the same player. Unbelievable stuff. But Monte, they do manage to make the comeback work there, don't they? I mean, it wasn't exactly... well, I say a comeback. It wasn't much of a comeback from them, but they had a good start in the game. We saw Zero Tenacity really bounce things back, and it looked like they had a pretty good half. But it felt like both teams heavily favoring the CT side of Dust, and I really do think there's got to be the element of maybe both teams aren't really fully optimized or confident on the map just yet. But Atro, you got to watch it on the sidelines. What did you think of that one?
Honestly, it was crazy, right? Against the multi-frags, I don't get how these guys do it, right? It was first Zero Tenacity that kept up finding frag after frag after frag. Just that's how they won these rounds. It was just multi-frags, right? And then, as you mentioned it, right, it was the CT side for both squads actually going through big time, because Zero Tenacity were able to climb their way back out here into the CT side at the beginning, even though they were 4-0 down from Monte, right? Waro 2K, for God's sakes, was 9-0 in the first 4 rounds of the game here.
Yeah,
and the idea behind it is that he didn't even do it with his op, right? This whole Dust 2, he was more of a rifler than anything else, and he really pulled through with it, right? You guys were even joking around about it in a couple of instances where he was struggling to find picks on the op, but still was such a good lurk.
Yeah, I think when you look at kind of the series in a whole, right at the start, I think we expected Monte to win. Was it the cleanest of victories? By no stretch of the imagination. I think there was many moments where Zero Tenacity, they had moments that were close. I think their CT side was really good on Dust, and I think there was moments of their T side as well. But yeah, I think Monte, they just had a really good hold. I feel like in many moments, we mentioned it even in kind of the final rounds, it was just the trading that went their way. It was the opener that was found by Waro, and yeah, I think Monte, I think they deserve to win it. I think there was many moments like this though, where Zero Tenacity play against a 4K or a 3K and they lose the round still, and there was just plenty of moments where we're looking at the ZT side and we're questioning, look, you've had one individual that's really stepped up, yet some have gone quiet. It has to be said.
Yeah, it has to be said, but I also want to mention the fact that Brewmonster started right back up into the series, right? I mean, Zero Tenacity would not have even gone to 8th if it wasn't for him. And also the fact that this is very weird for me because we got to see the CT side work out great for both Dust2 and for Anubis for both teams, right? It wasn't a case of these teams just struggling on down to their T side in general and then moving into the CT side, but Waro, being as passive of a caller as he is, played much better onto that CT side on both instances. Even on the first map of Mirage, actually, if you think about it, for the whole entirety of the best of 3, and Zero Tenacity were just there to match, right? So if it wasn't just the big play, the big plays, the big individual moments coming through for Zero Tenacity, yeah, this is kind of why they weren't really able to be up to par and up to call out here up against the Warren squad. So yeah.
I mean, I do think something that is important to say, regardless, is, I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of players on Monte who have been playing at some very, very high levels for arguably most of some of their guys' careers. This is a squad that does have more Tier 1 experience. They are on paper a team that should be performing slightly better, but still we did have Zero Tenacity compete with them all the way throughout the series. Mirage was a close affair. We had an 11-10 scoreline on the first map at one point. They had a pretty strong looking Anubis. Maybe needed to work on their T side slightly more, but still a victory for Zero Tenacity. And that one still a bit competitive. Well, it was competitive until sort of the final few rounds where it felt like Monte finally did stabilize. But from start to finish, Zero Tenacity did push this team to the limits. And that is one thing that at least you can say. Obviously, disappointing that they're going to have to go out in the round of 16. A team that I know are going to be looking for a deep run here. They are going to be looking for a bit of a challenge, maybe a bit of a title run. But regardless, a good result for Monte and Zero Tenacity. Disappointed to see them go, but that is Monte advancing, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, they will be. They will be advancing into this one. Monte are going to be meeting up with Bleed into the next BO3 out here for the quarterfinals. But Zola, CMD, we've got one more game to look at, and it's going to be the one that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. Gamer Legion versus Illuminar. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think Gamer Legion are a roster that it's quite weird for me. I feel like they've had kind of big moments, they've had kind of deep runs, but I think they've definitely got a mistake in them. I don't want to say that, oh, okay, all these teams, they should be playing perfect CS, but I feel like sometimes from Gamer Legion you see these like kind of crazy upsets, and you're like, how have they just lost that game? And you know, I don't want to say that, you know, Gun 5 in the previous season, okay, that was a bit of an upset game, and then Gun 5 won the whole thing. So it's just kind of one of those moments where you see Gamer Legion, yes, they have impressive results in the past, but there's also moments from them where you question, look, how have you guys just lost that? And I think this could be a perfect representation. I feel like Illuminar, they're a roster that maybe not many people expected to even get through the Swiss. They went 0-3 last Swiss, and now the fact they've qualified, Gamer Legion, a team that they could potentially take down, I'm interested. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think it's similar sentiment. I do like the Illuminar roster, but I think it's going to be a really tall task ahead of them, and I think it's going to be very challenging for them. I think the vetoes, I mean, when we do eventually get onto those after the break, I do think are going to be a huge part whether Illuminar can even make this one competitive.
Yeah, we'll see how it's gonna pan on off. But we had our time enjoying Monte versus Zero Tenacity. Zero Tenacity won't be anymore out here into the playoff stage, but they've proved on to be quite the opponents. Now it is gonna be up to Gamer Legion and Illuminar in around about 10 to 15 minutes. So don't you guys go anywhere, and we'll be back right after the break.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system.
Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skinplace. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skinplace.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction, and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.